The doggy likes that. You like that, don't you? Hi, you're with Scott. I'm Gadget Kid, Gravekeeper. It's midnight. It's always midnight. This is the stream, and I've got Genshin Impact just behind the picture. I'm looking up at chat on the big monitor still. We're gonna get sorted soon. Little things, little steps, one at a time, things at a time. What you're looking at is our YouTube channel there. You'll notice that we've got 2 Genshin Impact streams back to back. I was gonna hammer out or get them all up. I decided no, actually no. I'm gonna chill on the upload schedule for Genshin Impact streams. Gonna make sure there's some different stuff. What we're actually gonna do is tonight I might try a little late night YouTube stream, depending on how long we play Genshin Impact for here, and how much of myself I put into it and how tired I feel. Once I get off Genshin Impact this evening, because we're at 20:38, a little bit late today for a Sunday. Took the dog for a real big walk. He's got all bits on him. Been fucking brushing and cutting, and he's still got loads of bits on him, and he doesn't want me to get it, and he's like, oh daddy, leave me alone, and I've got to get all these bits off you. Anyway, if I reach down here, I can just, there's one. It's just, in any way you touch him, there's certain grasses I don't want those bits on him, certain grass seeds, but he's got these little, you probably can't see them, they're like little bobbly seed things. They're all stuck to him everywhere. They won't do him any harm. He's got them on his fur, and he's going to be, later on, he's going to be climbing into bed with me, he thinks. Not into, on the end of the bed. And when he does, I'm going to be like, right, now I've got you. And every last little piddling little bit is coming off. But I'm a bit late to stream. But that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Got the old YouTube channel up there. And like I said, so what I thought we'd do is we'd do Genshin Impact for a bit, and then there's a video that I want to watch on YouTube. There's Derek Chisora, and he's fighting Kubrat Pulev. It's the second time he's fought him though, right? So there's the face-off video. Oh, look, they're having an argument about it. Oh, they're having an argument about it. He has beat him once 2 years ago, Pulev has. So what I'd quite like to do is I'd quite like to have a little watch of the old face-off, and also have a little watch of the old video, do a bit of a react. I don't know how much of the fight you're allowed to watch and react to, but you know, I mean, what I want to do is watch these videos. Well, I'm not going to do them on this stream now because we're doing Genshin Impact, so I'll do them on YouTube later to see how it goes. I'm quite on our YouTube channel. You know how on stream, like sometimes you say, oh, have you heard that song? And then I like bring it up, or like, did you think Paul McCartney was good at Glastonbury? Oh, I'll bring it up and show you. Well, no, I won't, because I keep getting chuffing copyright strikes at the whammer. So I've got to be careful, but I think it's okay to react to the face-off, to watch that and react to it, 12 minutes of it, watch and react. I don't know about the whole fight live. You know, they put these fights up, replays, good on them. Sky Sports Boxing do it really quite promptly these days, and that's because they're in a fight with DAZN, and DAZN's content is on the internet, and so get those fights up on the YouTube, Sky Sports. Yeah, that will show them. Anyway, that's for later. Just wanted to say that's the setup for today. It's bright, isn't it? It's bright when you press that. Oh, it's bright. This is Genshin Impact. Money spent 0, 0. 0, 0, no money. No, money down. No, money down. Now, see, I could show you that now on YouTube. That's what you're supposed to do if you're a streamer. You're supposed to be able to say things like that. And be like, oh, that's how The Simpsons look. I'll quickly show you that on YouTube. I'll react to it. I think I need to be a bigger streamer, because at the moment when I do things like that, it's like, hey, you chuffer. What are you reacting to now, you? I haven't even been on today, look. 160 of us, 160 resin. Commissions. Don't know how far we'll get up the mountain today. Don't know how many of these story modes we'll do today, but we're going to have a good crack at it. I think something... I didn't dream about Genshin Impact, to tell you that. I didn't dream about Genshin Impact. I had nightmares last night about people attacking me. Wait, that's the browser. Chuffer's like that, actually. It's funny, actually, now I say it. Kubrat Pulev, his face. Sometimes I dream about the future. Sometimes, I mean, I'm not saying Kubrat Pulev's going to attack me, but like, I had this face in my mind And it's a bit like his face. It's a bit like his face, really. This shaven-headed, slightly older, maybe Slavic looking. Weird. It's a bit like his face. Like, I'm actually thinking that was a bit like my dream. Like, I dreamt there was like this gang, and like I used to live in Bristol, in the town, Bristol city. Bristol, the city. I used to live in the city of Bristol, and my dream was telling people your dreams is boring as fuck, isn't it? Boring for you. I'll tell you anyway. I was in Bristol, I think. And there was this like gang of lads, and I was in the car with them, and I was like really on edge. And I was like, in my brain, I knew I was like, these are dangerous people, and I'll play along, and I'll smile, and I'll smile, and I'll play along. But you know, if things kick off, they might want to smash my face in. They might want to like punch me, and like, oh, I don't like it. Oh, I was a bit worried about the whole like anxiety dream that is, isn't it? So what I did is I got out of the car in the dream. And I was wandering around. Oh, it's a big city, isn't it? I need to get home. I need to get up these hills, you know, up home through the hills. But you don't want to just go straight up the hills on the roads, because now I'm not in the car. I don't know what they're thinking. They might switch back on me and drive back up the road and then come and beat me up. Oh, anxiety, like these hoodlums in this car that I was in. I was smiling and thumbs up. All right, see you then in a bit. I was thinking, don't walk up this. I had to go through all these like dark, like, I'm thinking about it now, like cemeteries, maybe Gravekeeper, but these dark fences, like off-road through up the hills, but up the side alleys. I don't know, you know, stumbling around in the dark, afraid for my life, threatened by hoodlums. Good dream, good dream. Woke up feeling nice and happy after that. Life is but a dream. Hello, Snippy Snips. Those faces scare you too. Yeah, these two are going to have a boxing match, so I'm going to look at. I'm going to react to that on YouTube later. But today, now it's Genshin Impact. So I was just telling you my dream. I don't know why. Just telling you my dream. But I know why. Because I've been thinking about Genshin Impact as well. Talking to Juzzy yesterday. Something else I wanted to look at and react to was the 4-year plan. Haven't got it up on the screen yet. Playing this through as a sort of unseen playthrough, so I've not been looking on YouTube at other people's stuff. I've not been watching any. I've watched a little bit of, you know, someone else's stream here and there, someone else's YouTube video. I watched a YouTube video about things you don't want to miss after first 10 hours of Genshin Impact, or do you know what I mean, like the basic, like then I had to watch one video about like artifacts or something, do you know what I mean, but nothing big. I'm not watching the story mode, it's all unseen to me. So I wanted to play it unseen, so I know what it's like to finish it and then go, right, that's where it ends. I did assume that it would be Snezhnaya, because they're all talking about it. Snezhnaya, all the characters talk about it in the game. But apparently it's not out yet, doesn't exist yet, and there's going to be a new place coming out in 2 or 3 months, or 4 months. So it's not the sort of game that just finishes. And it very much looks like it's unfinished here, doesn't it? Like the way the map moves over this direction. The way that you can move this way with the map, and the way it's all cut off there, it kind of feels to me like, oh, like we started off with just a little old Mondstadt, didn't we? And then we opened up another bit of map. Oh, all this, hello. And then we opened up another bit of map. Oh, all this as well. And then we opened up another bit of map. Oh, hello. So it kind of feels like you might just keep opening the map. Like when I bought Fallout, the map looked quite big. I knew how big it looked. I knew that I wasn't able to see it all, but eventually I would. I feel like eventually I should see all this. But apparently this is as far as it goes. Once I've unlocked this bit, another few months I'll get another bit somewhere. But they bring it out in bits over a course of 4 years. So I wanted to look at the 4-year roadmap and see how extensive they plan to make it. That's something I do want to do. But I don't want to sort of rush myself through it anymore. We rushed our way to Inazuma because I needed those crystal marrow for my character. But we can take our time now. We're nearly, like, if you consider that Inazuma, regardless of what comes out in 3 or 4 months, you know, in 3 or 4 months we'll have a look at that, but I should be finished with Inazuma in 3 or 4 months, you know, hopefully in a couple of weeks, yeah? So, in a couple of weeks, I'm finished with Genshin Impact. Oh, I'm at the end game. Oh, well, let's just chill then. Let's just slow down. You don't have to, like, storm our way through it just because I want to do a review at the end. We can slow down, chill out a little bit. I'm not, like, obliged to run the story mode really quickly now, am I? Although at the same time, most of these streams are primarily story mode stuff, aren't they? I'm not here just grinding and messing about and doing my commissions. I'm here showing you the full story mode of Genshin Impact on stream at weekends. So we're going to stick to that general principle. Because, of course, she's doing her thing. She's doing her thing. Hello, Juzzy. Yeah, Juzzy does make it make sense. They do help me through it, absolutely. And I was just laughing at your boxing comment as well. Someone would be unreasonable. I think those boxers get themselves in some quite unreasonable moods when they're going to have a boxing fight. I think they get themselves all worked up to be quite unreasonable. We've got all these world quests. And maybe we don't get up the mountain. Maybe I'm not powerful enough to defeat that room yet. We'll have a look at it in just a second. You know, we'll go there quite early in today's playthrough and have a look, see if we are powerful enough. But if not, you know, we've got all these story quests and world quests, and they're not to be sniffed at. As we saw yesterday, some of them might, in my opinion, be a bit strange and off the wall and take us to some strange places and maybe drag a little bit before we get to have the big fight. But they do include big fights, and they're all little windows into the different characters. So I think that's quite cool. So we've got all this to do, so it's not like we're going to be short of story quests and interesting interactions and Paimon going off. I don't have to just spend all day in that room, do I? That room. Well, we've got to go up at that room at some point and have another crack at it. I've got to keep cracking at that room. Where is it? There's a quest. Tianqi Valley. Tianqi Valley. There's one room in Tianqi Valley and I find it very difficult. So yeah, I've got to keep trying that, but I don't want to, like, you know, beat myself up today. I've had a long, good walk with the dog in the woods. Thought it was a really good walk we had. And then when I got back, like I said, he's covered in bits. He's still got bits on him now. You know, the only reason he's lying down now is because I'm talking to you. If I try and pick the bits off, he's like, oh, leave me alone, Daddy. So I've got the scissors, I've got the brush. We've been having a go. They're not going to hurt him. They're like little bobbly grass seed things. They're not going to hurt him. But tonight, after streams, when he thinks he's going to get a nice kip at the bottom of Daddy's bed, Daddy's going to have him. Daddy's going to have him and Daddy's going to cut all the bits off. Oh, I'll tell you one other thing that happened before we get into this. You know, I said someone left a few cans of Coca-Cola in our fridge the other day. So my mum saw me drink them. She bought a whole load of them, thinking that, oh, he's drinking them. Oh, that's nice. It is nice, thanks. I don't know where she got these ones from, though, because they come with all black stuff all over them. Like, I didn't notice. I drank 3 cans, but now I noticed they got all, like, black, I don't know what you'd call it, like soot, residue, something on them. I've had to wash this one and then pour it into a cup so I can drink it. But it's too late now. I've already done the damage. If that stuff that was all over those Coke cans, if I'm being poisoned or it's like some sort of fungal mildew thing that I've drunk and touched my lips and now I get the black fungal mildew on my face, like, oh God. So watch out for that. Summer cut time, yeah, you see, exactly. He's due a bit of a haircut, and the dog's due a haircut, and we've been trying to get him in at a groomer's because we didn't have a groomer because the COVID, so, you know, but we got an appointment at groomers, but it's going to be like a month, so he's getting that a bit outgrown. So what's good for me is, instead of having to comb all the bits out, I'm clever here now, I'm being smart. He hasn't had a full summer cut yet, but I'm going to be smart. I'm just going to cut all the bits out, and then it's like half of a haircut, isn't it? So then he might as well carry on and give it, like, it means that I don't have to worry too much when I'm getting these bits. I'll just cut all the he's going to look like he's got half a haircut by the end of it. The little chuffer. No, that's good. I'm doing 2 birds with 1 stone then, aren't I? So it's actually good. You said my clipper. I've got some clippers, but I'll tell you what the problem is he's one of these curly dogs. So you have to blow dry him. You have to wash him and then blow dry him out so his hair's straighter. Otherwise, the clippers don't seem to want to go through so much. And of course, I was a professional hairdresser for many years, so I think I'm all right. It's just he doesn't want me to faff with him. You don't like, you know. I think his problem is that it's Daddy doing it, and you know he can mess Daddy about a bit, and oh, Daddy, leave me alone, and all that. So I think that if we take him to the groomers, like when you take him to the vet, you know, like the vet just gets on with it, don't they? And like the dog sort of just puts up with it. So I think if we take him to the groomer, I think he'll put up with it. He might even enjoy it. But if it's just me doing it, he's you know, he's, where's my squeaky? Oh, I don't want to do this. Get me squeaky toy. You want to play squeaky? And I'm like, oh. It's like an extra job. And the funny thing was, we got this dog who didn't molt. He doesn't molt, doesn't drop his hair, does he? Because he's one of these cockapoos. So that's good. Hypoallergenic, doesn't molt. Don't get dog hair everywhere. The only problem is everything gets stuck to him. So I've got to get everything, instead of like, all his hair getting stuck to me, now everything gets stuck to him and I've got to keep getting all the bits off him. I don't know if I want to go down that Tianqi Valley, I'll tell you that. I don't know if it feels like self-abuse, that does. I don't know if I want to go down that Tianqi Valley. Where do we want to go? Let's do it. Let's do a nice straightforward. I'm building up my cryo characters. Sorry, I'm trying to get through to the Oceanid again. At the moment, I'm too feeble to even think about going and having a fight with the Oceanid. I get melfed really quick. So we're building up our fire characters and our electrodes and our cryos, and then we're going to start doing Oceanids again. So let's get started with a nice straightforward resin spend. I say this will be nice and straightforward. Won't it? I'll just go down here and kill this Regisvine, and it'll be nice and straightforward. It's a fiery one, so we don't need you, Amber. Sorry.
I'll watch your back.
Have these berries. They're mine. And I'll just fly down through here. There's a bit of core lapis here. I still can't... Now I know that that's for characters and I don't have characters that require it. It doesn't stop me gathering it. And there's a little fat... I don't even know if these flaming flowers are necessary or anything, but I've been picking them up, I'll tell you. And this. I've got 501 of them now. 502.
Time to act.
And there's another flower, but I'm just going to wait for my special move to... Ow, I'm burning!
Rain outlines your
Thanks.
fate.
That was a good use of my special move, that was. One flower. Right. Let's see if I'm all super... I've not got Noelle on... Wait, I like Noelle because she provides a shield in this situation. And I'll probably do it without the shields, but... I do like the shield in this situation.
I will protect you.
Hello, Noelle. And today's Sunday, so any and every element... Not element. Any and every...
Leave it all to...
Got to do my brain and talking while I'm playing the game now. Any and every...
Get back!
crafting materials. All the materials are available in the... I shouldn't be doing a boss, I should be down the domains, because everything's available in the domains. You can pick your prizes on a Sunday.
My sword.
So I should be down the domain, really.
As a good knight should. Leave it all to me. Punishment.
But, you know, this will be fine. There's always another Sunday. Like I said, I'm not going to stress myself now.
Yeah, judgment.
Because I think if we're that close to the end game, insofar as I'm at quite a high level, and Inazuma is like the last bit of the story mode for now. I don't need to rush my way through it. I can just enjoy it, take time. We've got all these story quests to do and stuff, so... The only reason I rushed us to Inazuma was to get the Crystal Marrow. Now we can chill a little bit. Oh god, this is going to kick off. No shield, no shield. Ah! There's my shield, right? Where have I gone? I'm running around now, idiot. Get that. Got it. There's the flower thing. That flower thing blew up. That was a mistake. I forgot to blow.
Judgment.
Don't know why you go and get that extra flower bud. Sometimes I go and kill it and I don't know what it does, but bonus kill death. Oh, it makes the floor lava. Look, the floor is lava. You don't want the floor to be lava.
Steady as stone.
Painful on the old
Rain
tootsies.
outlines your fate.
Yeah, painful on the old Corolla. That's his eye. I don't call it a Corolla. That's his eye. Just do it without worrying about that. Go on then, smash your big eye.
Punishment. You can't run.
There you go. It's better be something good because I've given up a Sunday resin run on this. It'll recharge while we play anyway, won't it? Oh, that's a golden Bont cover. Gladiator's Triumphus helmet. Golden Bont's protector. HP. HP attack defense. What's that? Everflame seeds. We need them. We need them. We need that. We need that stuff. I haven't got a bigger one of those, have I? No, no, thanks. Cup. Little cup. Little feather. That's rubbish. That's going straight in the bin. Thanks very much.
I'm hungry. Let's hunt.
And I can see that Tianqi Valley there because I put it on. I put it on by mistake. I'm not going to do that. Am I? Am I? Do I have to go and do that? No. No. Cancel navigation. Leave me alone. What I wanted to do is I wanted to do it like this. I wanted to have a little look at the world quests. Like this. Story quests. Story quests, aren't they? Here they are. Right, this is the order they're in. I've still got hangouts that I can do. This is the order they're in. Venti. Right, let's get him done then. Let's do them in this order. Because it gets increasingly more... I don't know what you'd call it. Increasingly more something anyway. Like this feels a little more... Like his picture is a little more straightforward. There he is. It's green on the background. This is his little harp. Zhongli, there he is. It's the same Geo sort of colour scheme. And that's his little symbol. But when you go further on up here, I can see, look, Yai Miko, for example. There she is. Oh, and there's all this colour and swirling, and she's got all the clothes going in the wind, and her symbol's a little animal, and it all gets... That's much more of a complex bit. Raiden Shogun, her picture, her sword's doing all this electric stuff. He's just stood there. Venti looks like he's sort of just about to sit down, or he might be getting up, or I don't know what he's doing, but he's just there. Ganyu's just there against the background, whereas these ones at this end, they're like, wah, throwing their hair around, and you know, they're jumping and their swords going, and that one's got his arm up. So, I mean, we'll leave them till later. But I want to do them in order. As we do them, they disappear. So I think, yeah, Venti's is almost done. I did most of it. You see my brain? We did, didn't we? We've been messing around with him. We've been messing around with him. So yeah, we're going to start on Venti. Carmen Day. It's what confuses the chuff out of me. They give him all these different names. Like, couldn't it be just called Venti's Quest? Isn't it called Carmen Day? Or like sort of strange Latin style names. So let me find that on this list. It's like going shopping, isn't it? Where's me Carmen Day? Do you know where the Carmen Day is? Do you know the Carmen Day is? Does anyone... Could you help me find the Carmen Day? There it is. It's the top one. Carmen Day. Thanks. Thanks. I only need one packet. So. I often think that when I, you know, ask people in shops to help me find things, and they come and they help me find it, and I feel like I should buy more than one packet. 2 packets. Can you help me find the cornflakes? Yeah, there's the cornflakes. Thanks. I feel like I should buy 3 boxes, because to make it, like, that's 15 minutes their time they've just done there. Like at the rate of an hourly rate, it's quite a valuable rate spend of someone's time. Helping me find the cornflakes. So I'm like, it cost quite a lot of money to help me find the cornflakes. That did really, didn't it? Do you want to go back to doing what you're doing now? All right, thank you. Should you be trapped in a windless land? Wait for night to fall. Are you mad? I'm not waiting here for night to fall. That sounds rubbish. Well rubbish. Although it doesn't actually. This sounds well cool. Look at it. You could have a right rave in here, couldn't you? Someone would have to bring a generator, and you'd have to worry about ventilation. I suppose the roof's open, but like, you don't want to. You want to be careful with ventilators inside. If you're doing a little rave and you've got yourself a.
You leave, you call me.
You know, a little location, and you're doing a little rave, but you need a generator to make it run. The generators are fine, but they churn out exhaust fumes. So just make sure it's outside. The generator is, or the event. Anyway, you get your Jenny going, get your generator going. We put the decks up where we put the decks, probably over here on one of these rocks. Nice solid. Get a table set up here on the rocks. Have people up on these big rocks. Put the speakers up on these big rocks like that. Speaker up there, and on the other side there, big speaker there. It'd all reverberate round, wouldn't it? You get all this echo. I don't know. Set up the speakers anyway. You worry about that. I'm doing the decks. I'm putting the table for the decks. And over there, we could set up the barbecue where it's all on fire, look. Set up a barbecue over there. This is a good place. It's already on fire, so use that. That's on fire. It's a barbecue. And then this is the dance floor, obviously. You'd want a bit of a chill-out zone. I suppose that place that we came in, like entrance and chill-out zone. And people could all come in through here, so you could, like, you know, unless they're going to fall in through the roof, you could actually monitor the amount of people that are coming in. That'd be alright. So they come through here, and you've got a little cook-off. Like, you've got the barbecue, but this is a little cooking spot. People can sit here and have a chill. You know, the rave's in there. Come down into the rave. There's the big barbecue. Yeah, don't dance too near it. You'll get on fire. And then that's quite cool there, isn't it? Sort of magma rock. But yeah, and then because then you'd come in and you'd see over there where I said we're setting up the decks. That's where the main stage and the decks would be. Will be going on, I suppose. At this end, you'd have more of a seating area, I suppose, at the opposite side to the decks. If people wanted to just sit and chill, have the music blasting at them. It's quite a good space for a rave, though, isn't it? So you could wait here till nightfall, set up the decks. Let's do my. Forgot I'm supposed to be doing my commissions. People of Mondstadt need me to sort their shit out, so it is never ending. Destroy the Hilly Churl towers. Haven't I done that? Stop putting up these towers, you. You make me come here all the time to smash your towers in. It's getting to be a bit chuffing. What's happening? I've still got Razor. I've still got Razor on. I was like, where's my Chuffing Fire Girl gone? I've still got Razor on. Right. I need to get some way. Like, my characters are not consistent enough at smashing up the shields of these mages, and that mage shield issue is one of the issues I've got with that room, isn't it? So I need to make sure I'm able to smash the mage's shield with no qualms, issues, or troubles.
No, my sword.
Right, I forgot what I was doing. I'm smashing up these things, aren't I? The Chilly Churl towers. Chilly Churl towers. Smashed up the... Oh no, they're coming. Quick.
Leave it all to me.
Right, that's your tower. Enjoy that. That'll make them well cross. Why did you do that? That's made them well cross. They're only out here building towers. Who am I? The tower police. The tower police. The knights are known as tower police now. You're not allowed to build towers. Did you get planning permission for that? No. Right, well I've come and smashed it down then, haven't I? You won't be happy with that, will you? Someone coming and smashing down your tower. No wonder they're cross. Who am I?
You can't run.
I'm the fun police. Are you having fun with your tower? Yeah, right. You're not allowed to do that.
Outlines your fate.
I haven't even got a fire character to deal with your shield on my current team. There you go. Bye-bye. You're dead now. You got killed because your mates were like, oh, quick, someone's smashing up our towers. And you came down and you were like, oh, what are you doing with my mate's towers? And then you got murdered. Seems well harsh. That dude's there with his crab. Ross, oh, watch out, your crab's running at me. You've got that crab on a lead, mate, because it's an aggressive crab, your crab. You want to get your crab on a lead. I have that snapdragon. Don't tell anyone I had that snapdragon. And I won't tell anyone about your crab. How about that? Ross, you're not so quick now, are you? Your crab's quicker than you. You should call your crab Ross the Quick and you can just be called Ross. Wait, your crab's called Ross the Crab, and you're called Ross the Quick. So your crab can be called Ross the Quick, and you can be called Ross the Crab. How about that? Just leave him with that thought while he's by the river. It's a nice thought for him to think about. And since we're up this end, you know, obviously I can't help but collect a few wolf hooks and iron chunks, but we've got things to be doing, so I shouldn't really be messing about like this. Noelle. Noelle. Shouldn't really be messing about like this. Noelle. She can't help it, can she? She wants to tidy up everything. These mushrooms are untidy, someone left them out. Let's go here.
Oh dear.
Stanley's,
laundry is
Vanessa's
still on the line.
sword.
May I
and
be
shit.
excused to fetch it in?
I do kind of remember doing that. We were going around and like some dude wanted a sword and a shield, didn't he? And we went and like I was just like any old shield would do.
Such fair weather.
And Venti blagged them
Why
that
don't
it
we
was a
do a bit
special
of sunny
shield.
work?
Shut up about the sunny work.
What sort of work is that, you ask?
I didn't ask. You're chuffing making questions where no one's asking questions. Right.
Well, anything that makes you feel...
Shut up now. I'm not going to let her finish. We're going to switch out to the hottest chef in Leeway.
Just sharpen my spear.
And the sweetest ninja in all of Inazuma. Right. Make my escape. And we're heading south to do ourselves a little cheeky commission. Picking all these windwheel asters along the way. Don't let them get out of hand. When talk to what? Leanne. What's Leanne doing now? All these random quests. Random. Make my escape. Where is she? It's like down. There she is. What do you want? What do you want? What are you doing here? What are you doing here, more like? You're like looking for carrots. You only need 2 carrots. Okay. Here's 2 carrots. That was really easy, wasn't it? You've disappeared, and I got 1,400 more for that. So carrots are quite expensive these days. I'm gonna start growing your own carrots, mate. And look, oh, they're radishes, but it counts. It's similar. Yeah, I picked up a carrot then. So she could have just come over here. I'm going the wrong way. My north and my south mixed up. We never get this done at this rate. Get these done, and then we're doing the. Then we're doing what we're supposed to. Because Venti's helped us with that. You're right. Some dude wanted a shield and a sword sorted, and I was all like, "Oh, do we have to?" And then we went and got it, and then I can't even remember what happened. Tell you what, I can remember. I can remember that yesterday we had a big fight, and I was child, Tartaglia, and I had to smooth up a load of people.
Punishment. Yeah, judgment.
I had to smooth up a load of people. Hang on. He's a...
Nice and spicy.
He'll probably enjoy it. I've done the frozen thing on him. He'll probably enjoy that, won't he? Because he's a frozen mage. Why did I do that? He'll probably enjoy that. He'll probably think it's like a greeting.
Into the fire. No, my sword.
Get actually hit him. Right, it's just this cheeky...
Body and mind.
Right, there we go. You are cheeky, you are. Don't know what's got into you with your antics. Been around since the first civilization. Got well fed up. And then turned into baddies. I think that was the story. I can't remember exactly. That thing's got to go though. Look at it on the horizon there. And I'm all wet boy with all my swords going around me. Yeah, come on then.
Brain cutter.
Have a bit of that, you chuffer. Don't enjoy that at all, do you? It'll serve you right for being a great big self-interested animate slime. Maybe I should go to the room now that Xing Angling's got her special charged up. bit worried about it. Maybe I should go in the room though and just see how we go. I'm going to use Sayu, and I'm going to charge her special up as well.
Make my escape.
Oh, there's baddies on the way to the room as well, isn't there? But maybe I'll just ignore them and just go straight in the room once we've charged her special up. So I think if I can go in and just hit my specials, and that does the majority of the work, we can get it done. But if it doesn't, then I can't. So I just want to see how my specials are now, how strong they are. We're not going to be using Rosie. Someone's left dirty raw meat on the floor. We're not going to be using Rosie. We're going to be using... Not Wet Boy either, are we? We're going to try with... Even though he's one of my big DPSs, we're going to try with him.
We're going to hunt.
And we're going to try with her. So if I'm just going to charge everyone's special up, and I'm just going to hit special, 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 and just see if that works. So let's get Razor charged up on some nice, easy, weak enemies. No one's weak these days, are they? Even the hilly churls. I'm only hitting you so I can charge up my specials, so don't get any funny ideas. I'm not going to stay around and fight you. Right, they're all charged, and everyone's got a special charge now, yeah? So, oh god, just going over there on the map makes me feel bad. Let's just go here and make sure everyone's fully healthed. That's it, imaginary friends. You see what I mean? This is why I can't get these questions in my head. It's the one with imaginary friends, yeah. Because we had imaginary friends, and then we had, what it was, it started where I bumped into Venti, and there was a girl, and she was talking to herself, but she wasn't talking to herself, she had an imaginary friend, and we were able to see it, because Venti gave me a magic monocle, which means I could see things that are imaginary, and Paimon didn't understand the difference between imaginary and not, and then we went and saw around the town that other people had imaginary friends too, and then we saw that some adults didn't have imaginary friends, and then we saw that then we went, and this is where it gets confusing, then we're suddenly going for this shield and stuff, and we get a shield and a sword, and then we're in a dungeon, and then Stanley's got an imaginary friend, and it's himself. And then we're in the dungeon. So I don't know, I can't get it. I don't know what that's got to do with Venti and his behaviour. If anyone's story quest, that's Stanley's story quest, for Christ's sake. Anyway, look. Let's just go and have a nice little trip to Tianqi Valley, yeah? I might not even go in this, I usually go from here. I might go from up here and just fly down to it. Avoid all the traffic.
I'm hungry. Let's hunt.
Shut you. I'd like to go and do the thing that I dislike the most about this whole game. And if I can do this, then I'll be well chuffed. But I'm not getting my hopes up, so let's not... You know, this is the thing, is I don't want to... Am I going the right way? Watch. No. I want to go... There, you chuffer. I'm not getting my hopes up, so I'm not going to feel too cross if I don't do it, but 4 specials, one after the other, I'll go... They're already wet, aren't they? They're already wet and freezing, so I don't need wet freezing characters. Although, my wet freezing characters are my 2 strongest DPS, but I'm going to go... I haven't even done the artifacts again, I haven't messed with the artifacts. Still, my artifacts are lagging behind, I know, because when you do a domain and you don't finish it, I tried the hardest domain, I didn't finish it, and it said, oh look, at the end your artifacts are quite low, but your world level is this, and your thing is, but your artifacts are quite low. So I know that I've got relatively low artifacts, but I don't care. I just want to see if this set of specials will work. Like I said, my main DPS characters are not really that good, because their specials are, some of the characters are immune to their specials, so what's the point in them? But if I set off the fire, and then set off 2 electros, that's a big resonant... You know, the fire's going to set off with the electro, isn't it? That's going to create a big kick... Wait. What I want to do is have them in a different order. what I want to do is I want to set off the fire thing. It's going to go around me in a circle, and then I'll go, Bobo, get them! And then there'll be a flaming bear, right? So that's all good. I'll switch quickly to Lisa, at which point I won't get frozen or anything like that. Nothing bad's going to happen to me. I'll switch quickly to Lisa and pop up her thing in the air, and that's going to go and start electrocuting everyone. And that's good, because at the same time all the fire's going to be going around. And then Razor and Sayu are both quite capable of smashing the place up. Razor, I don't want to swap out of him once I've done it. I want her special move next, Sayu, because it's going to go like as a big circle, and they're all going to be in that circle, and then they're all going to get killed by it. And it's going to combine with Lisa's thing, which is a big circle as well, isn't it? And the big circle of fire around me. If I can be quick enough, we've got all these 3 things going off at the same time. When they're all going off at the same time, I'm going to switch to Razor and start with these big and smash, smash, smash. That's the plan, right? If it works, it works. I'm already feeling nervous. What I predict will probably happen is I'll do the start bit with Zhangling quite well, and then as I switch to Lisa, I'll get frozen, and by the time I get unfrozen from Lisa and get her special on the go, the fire will have run out. And then I'll switch to Sayu and be like frozen in the corner, and then I'll start climbing up the thing. That's probably what happened.
I keep watch. You
But
leave?
I'll tell you something else. I've been thinking about this. This is what I've been saying. I was thinking about this game on the dog walk, and I've been thinking about this room. One of my problems is this area over here. There's this stone that comes up. I don't know what the stone does, but I get the feeling it kind of lends some sort of shield or benefit to these 2 archers. The Hilly Churl archers. I think they get some sort of benefit from the stone. I don't know. You know, I don't know. I think if I smash up the stone, it's probably good, but I don't know. So the stone is like not part of my strategy yet. But I do know that I press this here. The mage, who's got the shield, which needs to be smashed very quickly, is over here. The slime that's got the shield, which needs to be smashed quite quickly. We need to smash through those shields quick so we can start damaging them. That's over here. So I usually dart over here and attack the archers because I feel they're part of the reason I get frozen. They've got a very accurate shot, and whilst I can avoid the jumping slimes and the bubbles because I can see them quite easily, those accurate shots hit me in the back of the head or something and I'm frozen. So I don't like those shooters. So I go for them first with my attacks, but because I'm doing a different strategy. God, you can hear it in my head. This is going on in my head before I've come here. I've been thinking about this. I go over here and fight these shooters, yeah? And then I turn and I'm in this tight space with all the enemies. But there's a lot of room over here. And one of the problems I have with this side is that, you know, you go over here and suddenly you can't see properly. You're climbing up this thing. Suddenly you go through here and the camera pans in really hard because it's trying to avoid blocking the view of your character. And this thing blocks the view of your character, so the camera pans hard like that, and like, what am I supposed to do with this? So, like, I don't like that at all. But I'm not using this side of the room. It's got a drop. It doesn't have a drop when you press that button. It blocks this off. So I could maybe start the thing, move to this side of the room, set off my specials and my bear, set off my Lisa special. The enemies are going to come towards me. So once I've set off the specials, this big area will be like encircled with Electro. I have to make sure I get the mage and the slime inside that circle of Electro energy. I have to do that. So maybe I'll come this way and dart in the middle and hit the special. Like, if I'm using this side of the room, maybe I've got more chance. Because I've got more space to evade. Maybe I'm being an idiot by attacking these archers and getting myself caught in these corners. But I do worry that over here, whilst I can see the archers, and I can see when they're shooting at me so I can evade, I do worry that I'm going to end up frozen in this over here and be ineffective, and I want to be in amongst it with all my... The mage and the archers won't come towards me. Right, the fuckers won't come towards me either, so yeah, that's an issue. That's an issue. The slimes will, but the mage and the archers won't. I've got to move around and kill them. So I think I keep my focus... Maybe I'm in this corner instead then. I don't want to climb up these corners. I hate climbing up these corners. Moving and just accidentally pressing towards the wall will climb you. Like, moving and not stopping my movement will climb me. And I'm dashing. Oh, that's exactly an example of it. I was going to say I'm dashing to avoid, and I end up climbing by mistake. So I need to make sure I don't do that. I'm not going to enjoy that. I need to stay within this border. That's what I need to do. If I use my... Because that's a good example of where I don't have to use my spatial awareness as much. I can just keep inside this border. So with all that in mind, the archers, this one's going to be outside of my zone of comfort. But this here is my focus of my attacks, isn't it? I think if there's one archer left and I'm pushing time, I can actually do that. I can grab one archer by the hair and smash him against the wall. But if it's one mage and he's got the full shield, I can't get the shield down in time to then attack him. So I think we focus on this. Got any attack stuff in your bag? One. Go on then. I'm going to use that. We've got 300 seconds, so I'm not going to use it yet because I'm too anxious. I haven't even warmed up properly, have I? I've done one boss, but I'm going to hit E first, the bear, because that's on cooldown. The Q's not on cooldown, it's just going to be gone when I've pressed it. E, Q, 2, Q, 3, Q, E, 4, Q, run around and just kill everything. There is one further issue, which is that I'm relying at the end on Razor, maybe Sayu, and Razor. Maybe Sayu, because she's got the better DPS. Maybe I switch back from Razor once his special move is elapsed. But they swing quite slowly, and in a room where fast attack is an advantage because there's so much going on. You know, if you're slow and cumbersome to move, then you can be frozen in the spot. But if you're quickly moving, it's harder to freeze you. So that's a bit of an issue. See, Jiangling is also... She's got a decent attack on her, but... I don't know, man. I don't know. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, you're back in the room. You are in this fucking room as well. 3, 2, 1, you're back in the room.
Nice and spicy.
You're in for a little shock.
Let's go big.
Surrender and I'll be gentle.
Let's get out of the way. Let's go big. I'm frozen, but I did get the mage down. Let's go on the mage. Let's just hammer the mage. I don't want to be caught in this corner, but I do want to hammer the mage. What's happened to me? Right, move.
Out of the frying pan.
We're getting somewhere this time, aren't we? Look, this is nearly happening. It's just this dude and these two dudes. I think I'm just a little bit shy of this. 13 seconds. 10 seconds. And that's how you do the room. Yes! It wasn't that hard at all, was it? It wasn't that hard at all. It was really easy. I've got a watch on that will do my my heart rate. What's my heart rate right now? It was 76 BPM 4 minutes ago when I was just sat here talking. And now my heart rate is 102. So there you go. But it wasn't that hard. That's not a particularly good photo, is it? Can't see her face. That's the one! Yes, congratulations on completing that room. Save. I'll tell you what made the big difference was those special moves where I relied so much more heavily on the fully charged specials, didn't I? I don't know if the fire was much cop because I was focused on smashing up the mage, but as soon as I got the fire off, the fire did the good job of smashing the mage's shield, while I panicked and ran over here. Instead, what I was supposed to do is drop the bear and run over here to a sort of more central part, making sure I catch the mage in the circle. But instead I ran over here and pressed E instead of Q. But I did it. I got Lisa's thing up, the electro, so that started off a sort of chain reaction, didn't it? And then I was quite quick on Sayu. I suppose their area of effect damage must have been doing some damage, because by the time I got my head out of the mage and turned, one of the slimes was actually dead, wasn't it? And it was just one slime and 2 archers left. And by the time I got to the archers, they were even quite smashed in. And Razor, for the fact that he's nearly dead, did quite a lot of big smushing damage. And what was good as well was the claymore. Congrats, thank you. You can always pre-fire the bear before you started. Oh, I should have done that. Well played. That's a Hearthstone. Well played as well. Thank you. And that's the new poggers, isn't it? That's the new poggers with the snake. What was good with him as well was when you wield that claymore and you do smash them back, it stuns them. So the big freezing slime, once I got smashing into it, wasn't able to come back at me. Same with Sayu. They weren't able to sort of then freeze me. So I think it all went quite well. I don't ever have to do that again. That's not like bosses. You know, it's not like the Oceanid where I have to keep grinding it. I never have to come back in this room. It wasn't even that bad. I think it was more about my strategy and my approach than anything else. And now that I'm a bit more seasoned in the game and I understand that combination of elemental reactions and using the right ones, it was much easier. I didn't need to run over here and smash this dude up and run over here and smash this dude up and then run over here and hit this and then run over here and sweat. Didn't need to do that. Just needed to set the whole room alight with fire, electricity and animo wind power. But animo wind power, just set the whole room on fire. That's all I needed to do. What have you got for me? Adventurers. Really? Adventurers X, not wit, not lovely books, just Adventurers XP. Just having a joke at me, aren't you, room? Can I get on there? I want to stand on there, please. That's my little. I want to stand on there and look like a trophy. That's my little pedestal. I want to get on the pedestal and look like a trophy. Can I get on there and look like a trophy? Well, it just won't let me. I know about jumping on things. It's like accelerating my jump. It won't let me jump. Okay. I'll have this though. This is mine. That's mine. And I'm on here and this looks like a trophy. So yeah, that'll do. Congratulations. Well done in the room. You can have your photo taken. Well done in the room. We've got Sayu, we've got you. Lisa was alright as well. She helped. Where's Lisa's bit of the room? We're going to have a photo taken in a different part of the room. There's not that many parts of the room, are there? Lisa can have a photo taken in this horrible corner. I didn't like, but green and violet look quite well nice together, don't they? Look. There you go. There's one for Lisa. I mean, that one zoomed in close of its own accord, but we'll take it. Thank you. That was quite a nice one. And Razor, I don't want a photo. I'm a wolf. Leave me alone. Yeah, but you've got to have your photo taken. We're all having photos taken. I'm a wolf. Leave me alone. And I'm not posing for a photo. He's like one of them, isn't he? I don't want to pose for a photo. When you eventually do get him to pose the photo, he's got his face on. He's got his face on, hasn't he? When you eventually get him to pose for it, he's got his face on. What about this? Down on the steps there. You go down the steps. Oh, it won't let me just. I wanted to just get him. That's more like it. He's got his face on.
You write born to kill on your helmet and you wear a peace button. What's that supposed to be? Some kind of sick joke?
I guess I'm trying to suggest some about the duality of man, sir. Thank you for your tippies. Save that one probably twice there. Just enjoying myself in the room, aren't I? Just enjoying myself in the room. Thank you for your tippies. I'll open up the system. We've got a system for this. Thank you very much for your tippies. Little there, little here, little there to help the streamer. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your tippies. That's fucking loads here. That's loads. We did have a conversation about it. I did see your messages and that, so but Chuffing, I'll tell you, I'll probably tell you in a different stream, but we should look at the wages nurses get in the UK and you'd be shocked, not surprised. Not surprised in a good way, like shocked in a bad way. Like you should look at some of the comparable wages around here. But thank you, I really do appreciate it. I appreciate those tippies. I'm already, like, my blood pressure's already going because of this fucking room. That's what I wanted. I wanted him to do a pose. There you go, look. There's a good one. We can leave that room forever. We don't have to come back there now, do we? I've been looking at that every time I come up. That little thing in the barrel. I never wanted to do it because I was always going to get blown up and it was going to damage me for being in the room, but now I've done it because I'm in the room. No more room. Bye-bye room. Bye-bye room. Some books, leave them. We're going to have to come back for those books though, aren't we? Because, no, we're not going to have to come back for the books, we're leaving them. No more books, no more room. What we are going to have to do is we're going to have to get this jingle jangler up there. What am I doing? I'm going up there. Going up here. Getting it wet's not a problem. Look at her, she's up on that bit of wood. We're not going to get it wet.
Urine.
I've got some bits back now, some little kilobytes back. But I've still got one enemy to... And we're back, and now it works. Do you know what I mean? Like, there you go. I just had to turn it off and on again. It did get really bad, didn't it? I'm going to launch Genshin Impact now. Let's see if that all launches fine. My guess is that it will all just launch fine now and just be fine. Check, check, 1, 2. Check, check, 1, 2. It says live unstable on Twitch, but I know that it's now coming through at a good rate because my kilobytes are green on OBS. So let's just reload Twitch and see it on green. Bitrate is now up to grey. Don't know what a grey bitrate is. Grey bitrate is. Yeah, we're good now. Yeah, good. And what happened? I don't know if it's this Windows 11 because when I restarted it, it was like, oh, updating stuff. Because when you turn it off at the end of the evening, it's not turning it off. On this new Windows 11, it's not turning it off. What it does is it saves all the kernel, whatever that means. You know, I know what that means. What it is that the kernel is, you've got all your computer stuff in your box, all your chips and all your cards and all that, you know, and they work on digital information and bytes and bits and all that, don't they? And I've got an analog system. I move my mouse around and I tap my keyboard. So it needs like an interface. That's called a kernel. And it creates one when you turn on the computer based on the stuff that's in your computer and the stuff that's plugged into it and the stuff you're using. Creates that kernel. And sometimes things go wrong in it. Like it gets a bug, something goes wrong. And usually when you turn off your computer, it deletes that kernel. It like only exists in the session that you turn it on. But Windows 11 is saving that kernel when you turn it off and not completely...
Watering works on plants, but
not completely turning off your computer. So if you want your kernel to be reset, which you do when you want updates to be done or little bits and pieces, which you're automatically used to having done every time you turn it off and on, you actually, to turn it off and on properly, you have to reset it. So I had to reset it. And like the idea of keeping that kernel without resetting it every time is that when you turn it on, it restarts really quick because it's not properly turned off, has it? But I'd rather it just didn't do that. I think that was the problem because having reset it, it now all works brilliantly. But obviously this is a great big, like on my old Mac, if I turn the computer off and on again, I'd say that's because it's an old computer and it, you know, it gets problems. But on this brand new super power box, I don't expect it to have problems. And the internet's working and everything's working and Genshin's working. So I think it was a facet of the software of the, like I said, I think it's implicit in Windows that it does that sometimes. And you have to turn it off and on again. I don't know, like, I'm not an expert, but I think I said a video where a guy said you need to restart it instead of shutting down. Yeah, that's exactly what I did, yeah. But when you shut down at the end of the evening, you don't want to restart it, do you? Because then you have to wait for it to restart, and then you have to shut it down again. So every evening you just forget, and you just press off, and then it's gone. So every time you start up again, you should turn it off and on again. Good system, Bill Gates. Don't tell Bill Gates I've said that. He'll get cross at me. Don't want Bill getting cross at me. We're here, and we've just, like that, it always does this to me. My internet stream, my internet service, or the computer turning it off and on again will always do it at the best bits. But that was a triumph, wasn't it? And then what happened, I don't know if you saw, but when I came to collect my rewards, all these treasure hunters turned up and I had to kill them all. And so I couldn't deal with the bitrate turning it off and on again because I had to kill them all. Then I had to open the boxes to make sure that I didn't lose the boxes. Then I turned it off and on again. So here we are. I've done this now. I consider Tianqi Valley solved. Let me check it. It's gone, hasn't it? I don't have to go there again. It's gone. But the other thing that happened is our adventure rank went up. Oh! I don't want to make the world stronger, but I did just do the room. So, that bodes well for the other things that we have been stuttering over. It bodes well for being down the mountain, doesn't it?
Story. Like, I posted a story that had Creole Lou's song in it, and it...
1, 2, check Chuffy 1, 2. I restarted it again. But I'm not happy with this as a concept. You know, I'm not happy with the concept. There's a helicopter going over now, which is making me worried. Don't know if you can hear that. Maybe it's the military doing it. Also, there is one other thing. I've got mail, and what's happened is, for some reason, I've got my... I'm going to try moving this to junk, but I don't really want it to be in junk, but... how do I move it to junk? Mark as junk, shall I? Maybe they'll all go as junk then. I don't know. What it is I don't know if this is causing it a problem, right? Hello, stranger, long time no see. I don't know if this is causing a problem, but I've got, you know, email linked on this computer now. So my email account is now linked on this computer. So when an email comes through, it automatically says, oh, you've got mail, which has never happened to me on my computers before, but now it does, yeah? That's fine, but nobody sends me a lot of email. But for some reason, this week, Mandy.com, which sounds like a website for chuffing sex workers, but Mandy.com, which is actually a website for... I'll show it you, why not? Where's my Firefox? That's chat. Firefox is chat. My bitrate is still going. I'm going to launch Genshin Impact in just a second. I'm just going to, you know, chat for a minute and see that it's still working. Mandy.com, I want to see that, and so I want to switch to Firefox, please. That's Twitch. That's what we're watching. Firefox, please. No, why don't you do it for me? How come you won't? It's bit weird, isn't it? Maybe if I do it like this. No. Okay, so that's well weird. It won't let me find my Firefox window properly. Maybe it's a problem in Elgato. Oh, now it will. Now it will. Now it's got loads of them. Right. Is it this one? It's not this one. It must be this one. So, Mandy.com is a platform for cast, crew and creative professionals, and you tell them where you are, and there's all these jobs that people post, and you know, if I need to try and get film jobs, then hopefully I can get some film jobs. I'm not an actor, but you know, I've got a camera, so you know, I signed up for free looking for jobs a long time ago now, you know, and what happens is it just sends it to your inbox if there's a job. Like, I've set my specifics. I'm a camera operator and I do XYZ, you know, if you've got jobs in the UK, send them to my inbox. So it sends me an email if there's someone posts a job that's like, you know, in my ballpark. But usually it sends it to, you know, in the inbox has like inbox, other and junk. Usually it sends it to other and I don't see it unless I look for it. But for some reason, this last 24 hours, I've got like 20 different Mandy straight into the main inbox come up on the pop-up. And usually they're not in this inbox, so I don't know why that's happening. Suddenly Mandy's managed to get into my like main inbox, and it keeps like since we've been on stream, I've had 3-4 emails about visual effects artist, which I can't do, event filming, and crew alert or something. Like, so you know, I could be looking at these emails. Maybe that's it. Because that is involved on the internet, isn't it? But I don't know, you know. I don't know what the answer is. Let's open up Genshin Impact again, because one of the things is sure is Genshin Impact wasn't having a problem. Genshin Impact itself was running quite smoothly. I saw the kilobytes take a little wobble then when I opened up Genshin, but not. No, they're back up now. It might be a Virgin Media thing, you know, but I can't. It's weird, isn't it, that it works. I turn on the stream, it works. We're playing Genshin, it works, and then it just drops. Like, you'd think if it was Genshin causing the problem, or if it was, you know, a computer problem or a whatever, it would drop like right now before I start playing. Like, or do you know what I mean? It feels weird that it should all just be rolling, and then just in the middle of it, it will say, "Oh no, not now, not now." I mean, I'm not having that as a permanent long-term thing. The problem you have in this life is that you kind of say, oh, that could be the internet service provider, or it could be the weather, or it could be whatever. And if it doesn't do it again tomorrow, we just leave it. But then it'll do it again at you know, this is what I worry about doing interviews on Zoom, for example, or through Discord or whatever, you know, doing a live interview with someone across the world who I consider their time to be valuable, and then like midway through I'm like, oh, I've got to turn it off and on again, and they can't hear me say that because at their end I'm stuttering and it doesn't work and my internet's going off, and do you know what I mean? That's awful. That would be awful, and it's not good for running a stream. It's certainly not good for running a stream. So it's not a consistent thing on this stream. It doesn't always happen bad, but it happens bad every now and then, and when it does, it's fucking no good to me. No, it's no good to me at all. I suppose it must happen. I don't know if it happens to every streamer, but it happened to us when we had a lot of eyes on us when I was doing a stream about body language, and it happened during that. It seems to do it at the worst moments for some reason, and I can't have it long term. So like I say, if I can isolate, or you know, if it happens again consistently, I can ring Virgin Media and say this is happening and get the engineers out, and they can probably give me a better idea. But the last time they came out, they did a really good job, and it was pumping kilobytes, and it's pumping kilobytes now. So my worry is it's the computer, because that would be the hardest thing to know how to fix. You know, my worry is it's just the computer's just deciding when it feels like it. It might be a Microsoft thing, mightn't it? It might not. I thought it was that thing we said it was. Maybe it's not. But certainly for a streamer, it is not a acceptable, consistent look. So I'm not going to have it as an, you know. What am I trying to say is, I'm trying to say that, you know, please don't think that's a consistent thing that will happen on the stream and that it's not worth watching this stream because you can't be bothered to fix it. I absolutely will not. If I knew what was wrong, I'd be right on it. Just, it's frustrating because I don't know what it is, but if I will not allow it to keep happening. If I have to if I have to move to Chuffing next door to the internet box, I don't know how the internet goes through, you know, but if I have to move to a house that's closer to Chuffing Bill Gates' house or whatever, like if the long-term perspective is my internet just doesn't work that well here or something, I will move. I'm not going to run a business, you know, my life venture and have little impediments like that hold me back. Right, she's bored of me now. I'm boring myself. Well done. Let's get on with what we're doing. This will be a chuffer because it's in the snow. Protect the monolith. Where's my... I haven't even got a movement... You know, I haven't even got a... navigation point for that. It's in the snow. It's going to be a chuffer, that is. Why do they give me such a chuffer of a... Why have they put it there? Got to do it. Might as well go from here. Head down the coast, into the snow, get my job done. But if I start freezing in the snow, I have to find fires and all sorts. I have to find... It's just a simple commission. But you're going to have to protect that monolith. Do you know what? That monolith will not be near a fire, will it? You watch. The monolith will be... Oh, look, it's all these flowers. The monolith won't be near a fire. And, like, what am I going to do then? I'm going to have to keep running back and forth with... I hope the monolith is... you can live, because you're a lucky slime. You can live, because I've got business down the beach. Or a flower. You're a lucky flower. You can live, because you've got business down there. I've got business down there. What? Look at that! Haven't seen that before. Buns of fire. I've got to keep... See, the other thing is now, I've got to keep looking up and checking the... I've got to look up and keep checking the kilobytes. Because it happens when I'm not looking. It happens when I'm not paying attention, when I just assume that everything's good. Buns of fire. Oh, there's enemies down there. I want to go and fight them. No. We're doing our commission.
Let's find shelter, quick! Flowering works on plants, but not people.
She hates the rain. I should have been amber for this big glide. Oh, there's a chest there. I can't not do that, can I? No, I can't not do that. And then we'll go down the beach. You've got to do this chest, haven't you? Yeah, you've got to do this chest. Don't just leave that lying around for some other chuffer to have. That's my chest. It's got my name on it. That's why they're guarding it. Ha! Wakey, chuffing wakey. Oh, what's Lisa in my squad for? Oh my god, I didn't switch the squad. Oh my god, I didn't switch the squad.
Come a little
What's
closer.
Lisa doing? She's like hardly even leveled up. Rubbish.
Nice and spicy.
Now I'm getting smashed up. There's only one little ninja that can save us.
Almost done.
She can smash. I know I'm not quite warmed up because those damage masks didn't get picked up as they dropped. And those dudes are in the sea now. She can smash people. Hey, I didn't know. You know how Jean can levitate people and smash them off? Like, she can... Her third swipe, smash, it actually knocked them a distance. It knocked them a distance. She got real inertia behind it. I like that.
Looks kind of cozy in here.
It's not very good experience either, that wasn't. That wasn't a whip, that was an adventurer's XP. Bit of a cheeky bugger. Just gonna dunk her in so she's not on fire anymore. Make sure to change my squad. Lisa got a little run out there. Wet Boy's level 79.
Chivalry will never die.
Make
And you'd
sure
think-
to keep up.
You'd think that she wouldn't mind the, It's all working now, isn't it? It's all working. I've got my chat
Surely I
above my
should
head.
be due a growth spurt by now.
when the internet goes down, use your phone as a hotspot for Zoom meetings. I've got 4G, but do you remember, like, I do have limited minutes. So what would happen is I'd say, oh, I just switch to my phone as the hotspot, and it'd be really rubbish quality internet service probably, and then it would just cut out, and they'd say, oh, if you want more minutes, why don't you send a text? And I'd be like, just leave me alone. Oh yeah, it's a worry. I mean, it probably happens sometimes on some Zoom calls that people have, and it probably doesn't happen all the time. And you know, I'd probably do about 10 interviews, and they'd all go well. And then we'd like, you know, spend a bit of money and get like Stevie Wonder on the show or something, and it would go off, and Stevie Wonder would think, oh, they've just hung up on me, and I wouldn't have his proper number to call him back and say, don't worry, Stevie. I'll be back online in just 2 minutes when I've switched it off and on again. And Stevie would go off and start making himself some dinner. Oh, thank God they put these here. She was just talking, and I talked all over her. Sorry. She was talking, I talked all over her. But at least they put some fire here, so we'll be fine. Can we get going? We can get going. We'll be fine. Everything will be fine. 10 monsters, that's all. Oh, they're coming from behind me straight away, the cheeky. See, look, no problem.
No, my sword.
You're dead. You're dead. I saved my specials in case we get anyone a bit tougher. Oh, you're not dead. And have you got anyone tougher?
Let me weave you a verse.
Yeah, look, that dude with the shield. That dude with the shield, look, there, I see him there, look. Looks a bit mean. It's mainly the shield, isn't it? Mainly the shield.
Come on out. Bye.
Not that mean. You're not dead?
Yeah.
Are you dead? Thank you for protecting your shrine. Just leave a little sticker. Protected by Sayu.
Make my escape.
Thank you for calling Sayu to protect your... What was it? Was it a shrine or was it... Thank you for calling Sayu to protect your pillar. If you'd like your pillar protected in the future, call Sayu. Protected by Sayu. Little sticker. Make my escape. And that was not as hard as I thought it would be in the cold there. Nice, chilling. On our way into Mondstadt, we're going to go and see Venti. We're going to get this commission done on the way. See Venti. See what he's got to say for himself.
Love it when the weather's like this. Just makes you wanna... doze off for a while.
It's still, I'll tell you what, it's still, in the back of my mind, it's still baffling the chuff out of me. Like, how can the internet just suddenly pop out? But it wasn't... it was only OBS. Like, OBS wasn't working, it wasn't sending any kilobytes. Think of it like that, think of it that way, because this was working, this game. Alexa's working in the other room, she's not having a paddy. Commission accepted, what's going on? Talk to Timmy. You've got commissions. How come you can hand in commissions? Hang on. Is everyone allowed to hand in commissions? Is just anyone allowed to hand in commissions? Why is her feet sunk into the ground like that? I don't like that. Is anyone, just anyone, allowed to hand in a commission these days? Timmy is now handing in commissions. Handing out commissions. Jesus, the Adventurers Guild, they should listen to Timmy's... This better be a serious concern, Timmy, because you've troubled the Adventurers Guild with it. Let's see what he's got to have offer. Let's see what he's got to say for himself. Let's see what he's got to say. But I'm surprised that Timmy's got a... handing in a commission. Ah, you again. You scared all my pigeons off again. That's true. I was feeding them. What have you got to say for yourself? Oops, that's what I've got to say. Well, Mommy always tells me that someone's really sorry. They'll show it with their actions, not their words. It's kind of true. And I'll show you how sorry I'm about chasing your pigeons off by just leaving and not being sorry, because it's only pigeons and they were just scared because I was walking on the bridge. If you don't want them to, you know, they're not your pigeons and this is not your bridge, so... The bridge pigeons are my friends. I feed... Oh, no, they are your... It is your bridge and they are your pigeons. Sorry, I didn't realise. Sorry, Timmy. I think the problem here is not whether I'm scaring the pigeons off. It's your sense of place in the world. These days the ducks are coming and stealing their food, so... He wants 3 wheats. What if I say, I seek not the friendship of pigeons? I'm just going to say yes, because he's a little boy. Have I got any wheats? Let's find out. Yes. Take it to the lake and feed it to the ducks. Like, there's not a lot of combat involved in this one, is there? It's one of these non-combat... One of these non-combat commissions. Take it to... Okay, wait. Before I do this, we should enjoy this. This is one of these moments. Isn't it? The game's saying, hang on. Just chill sometimes. Take the bread, feed it... Not bread, wheat. It's probably good for them, it's grains. It's not even bread, it's good for them, it's grains. Take the grains, feed them to the... Are you paying attention? Take the grains and feed them to the ducks, and chuff him and enjoy it. You know, there's the ducks, there they are out there. Enjoy this, you. That's the grain. I'm not going back to Timmy, I'm staying here. Look, there's the ducks, they're eating it. They're having it, look. Oh, did I scare them? I didn't move. I scare the ducks as well. You're just so fearsome, look. Just so fearsome. Stood in the water feeding the ducks. Yeah, that's it. Oh. That was nice. It's the little things, isn't it? It's the little things in life, the little moments. Feeding the ducks. Creeping up on a squirrel. Boo! Collecting 2,000 pieces of fir wood. Fragrant cedar wood. Before you open up the teapot.
Make my escape.
And what's going... The thing is, though, like... What's going on? There you go, Timmy. They'll get on better after a nice meal. I'll be more careful in future. He forgives me. And he's giving me Mondstadt hash browns.
Huh? Do you want to know the name of my
He's giving me one Mondstadt hash brown. So, I do like...
You know what? I can't think straight right now. I'm still half asleep here. Let me snooze a while longer. Maybe my mind will be clear when I wake up.
Maybe we just cleared a friendship rank with her because she just started talking to us. Make my escape. That's the coolest thing in the game. Running sideways like that. Hello, Catherine. Ad Astra Abysosk. Let's have all our stuff. Got quite a few rewards here. Look, got the standard pack for your standard commissions. That's not bad, is it? 20 primos a day. As long as you log on, do your commissions, 20 primos. I mean, it's not a wish. Is it? Is a wish? Is it 16 for a wish or 160? 160, isn't it? It's 160. Yeah, but she's got her legs out first, and her little legs are going out first. Like, usually people lean into their running, don't they? I don't know. That's a nice little pattern. Let me just check the wishes. I've forgotten how much the wishes cost. I think they were 160, not 16. The reason they put these extra zeros on, it could have been 16 instead of 160, couldn't it? But it's to make you think differently about the numbers, but yeah. But we've got 8,000... 160's one, isn't it? Yeah, 160. These numbers and these complex, like, it's all in that report about different currencies in game and having more than one currency, so that it makes it harder for you to think in terms of the currency that you recognize. Like, it should all just be, instead of in primos, it should be in pounds for me. How much is a wish? Not in primos, in pounds. But then they're not in pounds, are they? Because I'm not spending any money. No money spent. Genshin Impact, no. Money down. Is there a red dot on my screen there? I don't know why there's a red dot on there. It's gone. Oh, it's just because I was highlighting that. Okay. Have we got any... We haven't got any free wishes at the moment. Yeah. I just want to check. So next, it's the 70 level gives us all the new free wishes, doesn't it? So the next set of ascensions and we'll get a load more free wishes.
Ad Astra Abyssos.
And of course we've got this now, the adventure rank reward. Which is resin. 12 nice books. Little bit of ore, little bit. I think that's good. 125 primos, Rodney. Take that, stick that in your back burner, money earner.
Ad Astra
Abyssos,
Abyssos.
yeah, okay. And we've got characters away on expeditions. Just earning us a little bit while we're... Well, they're out in the field. Earning us a little bit of materials, a little bit of monies. Not so. Oh, she's out now. Forget it. Claim. Kaya. And Juyun cast. We'll send Jinqui. Okay. Not doing that. Whee! So now, we only got reputation in Leeway to collect. We don't need to bother collecting it, though. That's all my things cleared off. While the resin replenishes, we will get on with Venti's being trapped in a windless land. Which does sound a bit awful, doesn't it? Being trapped in a windless land. Wait for night to fall. Am I in the right place, at least? It won't tell me because it's not night time. Right, forget it. I'll wait for night to fall. I'll wait for night to fall. I've got a clock. Just make it night time. It's just magic. Just like that. Night time now.
Seems like I should have just stayed in bed today.
Head to the angel share. They've got like 4 or 5 taverns in Mondstadt, haven't they?
Make my escape.
Got like loads of taverns. Mind you, my local town's quite a small. We've got a theatre. We've got a theatre though, so we've got a lot of restaurants, but we've got a theatre, so it makes sense. Hello, little girl. Should you be in here? What's your ID? You can chuff off. Make my escape. Venti, little windy boy. We've got some faces going on here. I don't know what's going on here.
Tell me, Stan. Tell me, what should I do?
Oh, faces. Stanley's having a bit of a...
Huh? Why does he keep repeating his own name?
There's another Stanley.
Surely not. Even I've never heard tell of a second Stanley.
I meant his imaginary friend.
Oh, Stanley.
Jesus! Stanley's having a breakdown.
It should have been me.
I should have been the one to die in the Miragivari. Why won't your spirit come and stop me from using your name? He's not even Stanley!
Why?
Oh god, the real Stanley died, and he's using his name and carrying forward his legacy. A bit like Arnold Rimmer. In Red Dwarf Arnold Rimmer, there's like a million Arnold Rimmers in
If only you
different...
hadn't had to save a rookie like me, you would have never died in that windless corner of the world. You were a renowned adventurer, destined to become a legend one day. But now, that'll never happen, because your life was cut short.
Cut short.
And
all because of a worthless tag-along. And I'll tell you what's funny, it's not the concept of the story, which is quite, you know, quite tragic, but like he's this tag-along and he's caused his death and now he's taken on his mantle and and he's an imposter as well. But what's funny is that he's in the pub just sort of blurting it all out at the table when he thinks no one can hear him. Like just saying it out loud.
Does anyone get what's going on here?
Paimon, do you not get it?
I think our friend really did make it to the Miragivari. And I think the tragedy he encountered there was real too.
Now they're going to explain it to me in case I didn't get it.
But the real adventurer, the real Stanley, that was his partner, not him. The real Stanley is the one who died to save our Stanley.
In Red Dwarf, I think it is a feature of the TV show, but it was also in the books. Real interesting part of... I'm just going to talk about Red Dwarf for a second, so if you hate it, so what? Real interesting part. Red Dwarf's a TV series in the UK, comedy, sci-fi comedy, but it was written by 2 people, Rob Grant and Doug Naylor, and they had a bit of a falling out and they went their separate ways. One of them continued to write the TV show and the other one didn't. I don't know if they got back together to continue writing later on, but they both wrote books like about the same concept and world as the TV show. Like they both, at the point where they had their separate ways and went off, they both wrote a book, and like each, so you got this TV show that you love and you've got these characters and their stories, and it's got to a certain point and they write these books and these shows together, and then they did a divergence. It's like two timelines. You've got Rob Grant's book and Doug Naylor's book, and they both start where you recognise, and they both go down two different timelines and do two different stories, yeah, because they're both writing what they wanted to happen with the series in their book separate. So I read both books. They're both really interesting. And in one of them, there's a really interesting concept, which is this character, Arnold Rimmer. Basically, long story short, there's a million Arnold Rimmers in a million universes. There's a million of us in parallel universes. And his role in the universe, not just the universe, but the universe is to cross through those universes and be a hero and like do heroics. And when he's on his last legs and he's going to die, he finds another Arnold Rimmer in another universe and passes on this mantle of you are Ace Rimmer now, you've got to go out and be the hero and do this stuff, and when you die, find another Arnold Rimmer, turn him into an Ace Rimmer and send him out. And like it's this never-ending chain of Arnold Rimmers doing this thing. And because he's a hologram and he's got a light bee, when he dies he sends his light bee out into space, and it makes up this vast, like there's like a bazillion light bees, and they make up the rings around this planet, like this vast galactic cosmic sculpture, and it's a testament to how many millions and billions and billions of Arnold Rimmers took up the mantle and decided to move forward with the cause. A bit like Stanley, you know, there never has to be there'll always be a Stanley as long as someone's prepared to take on the name and carry out the tasks. There can always be a Stanley, you know, the immortal Stanley. Do you know what I mean?
Wait, so the only reason our Stanley is called Stanley in the first place is because he stole the other Stanley's name?
I fear that may be the case.
Stanley,
for so many years I've lived in fear. Fear that Mondstadt will forget all about you. So I tell your adventure stories at every opportunity. Mondstadt must remember, Stanley reached the center of the marriage bar. He's the greatest adventurer there ever was, and he lives on. Stanley will never die, because I'm Stanley.
I am Stanley.
I am Stanley.
I am Stanley. I'm sorry, Stanley.
I'm sorry, Stanley. I'm getting too old now.
No.
I need to find me another Stanley. Make them understand what it means to be a Stanley. Pass on this mantle. Standing man, Randy Savage. Macho man, Randy Savage. And what we're gonna do when the Hulkamaniacs move into town. Alright.
Are you guys planning on eavesdropping much longer?
Because I've told you everything. He knew we were listening.
Yikes!
We're busted. Paimon. I said it, I spoke over. I don't want to speak over Paimon. We're busted. I could have used that. I spoke over it. You don't get two chances with Paimon. Don't speak over it, you idiot. Oh. I'm sat down now. Just look at the little leggies. Look at the little leggies. Look at the little leggies. They're just little leggies. They just went dangling over, they don't reach the floor. Just dangling a little leggies. They bother to animate that. You don't get that in Pokemon, do you? Little leggies. They don't touch the floor. Oh, it won't let me sit like I can either view it from one angle. It's that problem with the camera again. There you go. Right, little leggies. I'm not allowed to take a photo while I'm sat down either. Is that it now? Oh, try to make conversation with Stanley. Okay. You sit here instead. Have you seen me little leggies, Stanley? This will cheer you up. Come and look at me little leggies. Look at me little feet dangling. They don't touch the floor. Go away. Save your questions. Just leave me in peace.
But...
I was going to do Paimon's voice automatically, but leave Paimon to do his own voice.
Leave
now.
Don't make me tell you
again.
Honorary Knight, Venti, and Paimon. I'm so glad you guys are here.
Like, Stanley's like a cowboy, isn't he? He's like, what's going on with Stanley? Here's Jack. Jack can be the new Stanley. Jack, come over here. I've got a job for you. Sit down with Stanley. He's going to get weird on you. Anyway.
I've been looking for you everywhere. I wanted to thank you again for helping me find the sword and shield. My parents are finally supporting me.
Jack, have you considered life as a Stanley? Because you look a bit like a Stanley, don't you? Have you considered a life as a Stanley? Come and sit down here with our friend Stanley. He's going to tell you all about it. Stanley meet Jack, Jack meet Stanley. I'm off to do some questing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really. They even said they're gonna pay for someone to fix up the Sword of Brilliant Valor and Shield of Magnificent Honor for me, so I can take them out on the road.
It's a bit weird. Why don't you just get a new one? And this is Stanley. He's the fellow with the shield and the sword. Don't you not excite for Stanley?
That's wonderful. So,
We just all got our backs to
is
Stanley.
this the part where you bid farewell to Mondstadt and set off on your intrepid trip traversing Tevat?
Like, Stanley's having a midlife crisis here. And we're, like, it's not just a midlife... my future in animated voice. Yeah, but the problem with... Do you remember we did my voice... When we looked at my voice acting... We looked at my voice acting show reel and we discovered that if they want someone who talk like that, Stanley, if they want someone who does that, then they'll just hire someone who talks like that. Like, I'll turn up at the interview and they'll say, hi, my name's Scott, nice to meet you. And they'll say, well, you don't talk like the way we want you to, so next. And I'll be like, no, honestly, I can do the voice and the way you want me to. And they'd say, no, you can't do the voice exactly the way you want this to. Like, you're not from that part of America. Well, whichever part of America that is. And so we're going to choose someone who actually is from that, because it'll be authentic these days. They just do that, I was told. But having said that, Seth Rogen did all the voices on Family Guy, didn't he? And the bloke that does Homer Simpson doesn't look like Homer Simpson. You don't have to look like him. You don't have to look like the characters that you portray in animation. That wasn't one of the qualifying factors. Imagine if it was. Imagine if everyone who, like, you turn up at the job and they're like, you do the job, you do the voice really well, you're clean, neat and tidy, you don't ask for, too much in the studio, you just have a little can of Pepsi and a cigarette break every now and then, you're good to work with, you're good to work with, but you don't look anything like Venti, so do you want to try on these little jodhpurs? Do you want to try on these little pantaloons? I've got a pair of tights you can wear for this. I don't need to wear that, I'm just doing the voice acting. Yeah, but these days voice acting's more than just, we want you to really inhabit the character, so you're just going to have to put this hat on. What are you doing to my hair? Leave my hair, plaiting my hair now. Stop plaiting my hair. Oh, hey, I'm Venti. Imagine if you did that. You had to turn up and you had to look like the people. Or imagine if... Maybe we should just leave voice acting there for a minute, because otherwise I'm going to start talking about it for too much time. And actually, we want to be playing this fucking game, don't we?
No, not yet. I still don't have what it takes to go too far from home just yet.
Poor Jack, he doesn't have what it takes. Talk to Stanley.
Besides, I'm sure Stanley still has a few stories left to tell.
Exactly.
They're what inspired me to become an adventurer in the first place.
Hear that, Stanley?
Stanley, Oh, you're drunk again.
You're drunk again. Drunk again, eh? Does he get eggy when he's drunk? Stanley, this story's going to take a bit of a horrible turn now, as Stanley gets eggy when he's drunk and turns on his friends.
We'll see you tomorrow then. After your hangover wears off. Maybe you can tell me some more of your stories?
He's going to get arrested by the Knights of Favonius for weeing on a cat in a side alley. I'm just trying, Stanley. You leave me alone, you're weird in the alley. I wee where I want, I go Stanley. I know you're the real Stanley. I know you. Can I take your name, please, sir? I go Stanley. I know you're the real Stanley. I know it's the real Stanley. I know the real Stanley. Just get him in the cells. He's pissed on your shoes. Get off me. It's peeing on my shoes. He's Willie out. He's peeing. Get off me, Stanley.
Stanley's really fond of that kid, don't you think?
Yeah, I totally got that vibe from him being face down in his soup.
Jack.
Yeah.
Jack.
Jack left.
Tell him it's straight. Give him it straight like a pear cider made from 100% pears. Give him it straight like a pear cider made from 100% pears.
Oh, I
see. Well, thank you for not telling him about my secret.
Huh? All of a sudden you're facing the facts? That isn't like you.
Just now,
I couldn't bear to look at him. His adventurous spirit is so pure, unblemished.
Just a weary
old feckless fraud. But that kid is a brand new shining star, full of potential. I cannot allow his dreams to be crushed.
You're not a total fraud. Stanley's adventure stories and experiences. They're all true, aren't they?
Stories,
experiences. What's the point of them anymore?
To be honest,
my memories of adventuring and Stanley, they're hazy these days. That's my biggest secret of all, and my biggest fear. All these years, I've been living to tell his story, but his personality and details of his life, I don't remember them clearly anymore. I don't remember. Well, how can you be Stanley if you can't even remember what Stanley's become like? You forget it.
One thing I can never forget is that he died in a windless land, where his spirit can never be recovered.
Am I going to have to go and recover his spirit now? Because when people say things like this, it leads to me having to go and get it. Whatever it is they want, I have to go and get it for them. So I'm feeling like I might have to go and recover his spirit, but that might be a bit beyond my... All that remains is this imaginary friend.
Exactly. Even in his memory, the real Stanley isn't the living, breathing friend he knew at all. Instead, he's become fixed on the image of him as that battle-scarred warrior. And that image has held him captive his entire life.
Oh, Stanley!
I'm too old. I never let go. But still, so much has slipped away. I'm completely and utterly worthless.
You get a job. You could get a job at, name the place that fits in there. You know, I'm completely not. You know, it's different in America. It's different in America. In England, it might be, I don't know, like, well, let's just say McDonald's. You know, even though the people at McDonald's are probably quite hardworking and get your order correct every time, think of somewhere where they're not hardworking and they don't get your order correct. I'm completely and utterly worthless. Well, you could get a job. You could still get a job at, and then put the place in, and that's your joke. So enjoy your joke the way you like it, with your particular place of work that you think you want to be derogatory about. Put that in there. And enjoy your joke the way you like it. That's what Jason Momoa sounds like. I could be Aquaman. You know what? Usually I'd have to say, I don't know who that is. And I don't know who that is, but because of the Johnny Depp trial, I do know who that is because he was involved. I've seen him on the videos and the memes and stuff doing talking. He's like the Macho Man Randy Savage, isn't he? He's very much like that. He can't really talk like that though, can he? Not for real life. In the same way as Macho Man Randy Savage, once he's like, you know, finished doing the wrestling for the day. Once he's come home from a hard day at the wrestling, once he arrives home after a hard day of wrestling, you know, right, finished at the wrestling, he gets on the train, on the tube on the way home, gets the tube train. Do they call it the tube in America? I think they do, don't they? The subway. Gets on the subway in his wrestling gear with his, takes off his, don't need his glasses anymore because he's finished wrestling now, so he takes off his glasses and he takes off his hat and he's just there on the subway. And, you know, if anyone says anything to him, he's like, you're right, you know, just a normal voice. You know, he gets home, takes off his wrestling boots, sits down, puts his feet up, sees what's on the telly. You know, he's not about it, is he? He's just like, I'll just see what's on the telly. Just talks normal. Doesn't dress normal though. You got to dress funny for the wrestling, so.
No adventurer should have to go that way.
No adventurer ever. So, look, it's time for... We're going to have to sort him out.
Hans Archibald.
Hans Archibald.
My true name?
How did you know? Because I'm the god. Animo god, mate. There we go. It's going to Animo god him up some.
Wind.
The wind!
I can hear the wind
I can hear the wind blowing the marriage of bone. He didn't die in a windless land now. Now there's wind.
I always believed.
Oh shit!
You existed.
Will you hand me your old friend's spirit?
Venti can do shit like this! Venti! Stanley! Stanley, no! I think I've done shit myself.
I can't believe it.
He's really drunk as well, which won't help, will it? Remember, he's really drunk. So when he wakes up tomorrow, he's going to be like, oh man, I got so drunk that I saw God, and then God was Stanley, and then I think I shit myself. He's going to have a real headache tomorrow, and he won't work out, won't work this shit out. And me, now, to Venti, I didn't know you could do that. Me now, to Venti, I didn't know you could do that. Where did that come from? Can you pop that out a bit more? When we're hanging out, can you take me up into the heavens and show me people of the past? It seems like quite a bit of fun, that does. We've been messing around with the harp, playing the harp. He's been telling me his songs. Maybe, when he does the songs, it does a cutscene. Maybe that's like his songs. Maybe we have seen a few of them. I don't know. He's Khal Drogo in Game of Thrones. Oh, so I have seen him then. But I saw Game of Thrones and I saw Khal Drogo, and I didn't feel compelled to find out who was the actor. I just didn't care. He's just one of the people in Game of Thrones, and he's done Aquaman as well. Still, I feel a bit aggrieved now that I've got to know who he is, because apparently there's not enough space in your brain for everything, so that's one of the things I don't need. I can let that go. What was his name again? Jason Momoa. Oh, you've remembered it!
Thank you all. And thank you, Lord Barbados. I'm sorry.
Lord Barbados. I'm sorry, it's going to take some time to calm back down. But you never know. I could be in a quiz, and popular culture comes up in quizzes, doesn't it? And now I'm of a certain age. When you're too young, get this, you can't go on quiz shows on the telly. Like, there's no point in me going on the quiz shows on the telly. Oh, who wants to win a millionaire? Who wants to be a millionaire? Oh, I do. But if I'm in my 20s, it ain't going to happen for me. Because some of those questions are going to be played out towards the demographic that watches the fucking show. Mainly, it's older people that watch those shows, the quiz shows. It's mainly older people. So they want them to be able to get the questions right. So they ask them about things that they're going to know about. The pop culture references are not going to be about Genshin Impact. They're going to be about The Simpsons. And The Simpsons is the most modern. They think they're talking to the kids when they mention The Simpsons is older than the kids now, isn't it? So, but do you know what I mean? They think they're talking to the kids, but all Pokemon. They might talk Pokemon in a question. They're not going to talk about Aquaman really necessarily, but you might get it. You might get some Marvel, Disney stuff come up. It might come up. So that piece of information is now in my head. Jason Momoa, Aquaman. Jason Momoa, Aquaman, go. And also Stanley.
But I think that I'm gonna be okay.
Go and get yourself some new keks on, and see you tomorrow, Stanley. I thought the result of this was going to be that we should train.
Wonderful! Stanley reconnected with his true self, and Jack can finally go his own way.
See, Jack's going to go his own way. I thought Jack was going to become the new Stanley, but we broke that curse.
This calls for a celebration. And by celebration, I do, of course, mean libation.
Libation. Drinking.
And by libation, you mean you're not leaving this tavern till you're too drunk to walk, right?
No, the wine here's too expensive. Jack still owes me some wine, though. He promised me a rare vintage in exchange for helping him out, remember?
That's true. I do remember that. That's true. But I don't know if I can be bothered to go and collect that for you. I think you have to do that on your own.
I'll head off to fetch the wine. See you shortly. Let's meet at the usual place.
Meet? Again? So now you're going to go away and I'm going to have to meet you somewhere else. I think, couldn't we just finish this here?
Where's that supposed to be? Why has Paimon never heard of it? Hey, Tone Deaf Bard!
To me, it's anybody's guess, but where's our usual place? Is it outside the cathedral or is it at the tree? It could be one of them places. head to the usual place. Got a code now. Venti's got a code. Me and Venti, me and God, Animo God, me and Animo God, are so friendly. You don't even, it's just like the usual place, mate. I'll see you at the usual. Alright, mate, in a bit. Where, oh, careful you. Oh, he's outside the cathedral. The cathedral, there we go. Let's go there. Let's go there. Oh, he's up in the hands. The little chuffer. Sat on the hands. Chuffing chuffer. I remember the first... It's funny, these... I was talking about memories in games the other day. I was mentioning it the other day about, you know, seeing a dragon for the first time in Skyrim, and about how Amar was talking about it in the documentary that I made, about how you can have real memories made in video games experiences. You know, real memories. And the first time I climbed up here and stood up here with my new character, I think it was with Noel, I might be wrong. Look at her looking at him! The Animo twins. The first time that we came up here, I thought I was pretty clever for climbing up here. I thought that's pretty cool, pretty clever. And everyone does it. Venti's doing it. The characters in the game are doing it. Anyway. Sitting in his own statue. Of course it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Finally.
He's sitting in his own hands. What he should do is he should cup his hands like that, and he should get a little tiny little manny and put it on his fingers, and then we should have a photo of that.
Just tell us where you meet next time, okay? We looked everywhere.
No, we didn't. We came straight here, Paimon. Why are you so cross?
So, did you at least manage to find your wine?
Yep. Well, sort of. Jack made it out to be a rare collector's edition vintage, when actually it's just a half bottle of regular cider.
Classic pisshead. Classic. That's a classic drunkard's move, isn't it? Don't always have that in shot. Oh, what's going on with my shot there? Hang on.
This takes me back.
Half a bottle of cider. Down the park with half a bottle of cider.
The first time I saw this view, I hadn't even taken on this form yet.
I forgot you got different forms, yeah.
It was about 2,600 years ago, before the world had come under the rule of the Seven.
He wears school shoes, doesn't he?
At that time, Old Mondstadt was ruled by a tyrant, who sealed off the city's perimeter with a ferocious hurricane. Even the birds couldn't get in or out.
Sounds rough.
Old Mondstadt? Oh, Paimon remembers! Nowadays it's known as Storm Terror's lair, right?
That's right. The Tyrant of the Winds who once ruled from that tower was Decarabian. God of storms.
Decarabian. Got some names, haven't we?
Back then, I was but a wisp among the thousand winds. I wasn't a god of anything. I didn't even have a human form.
It's reminding me of Small Gods, Terry Pratchett book, where the concept is that gods gain their power through believers. Do you know what? Small Gods. Oh my god. Like Terry Pratchett, man. I'm just going to have to show you this for a second. I'm just going to have to...
I was just a tiny elemental being who lived in the wind. A gentle breeze bringing subtle changes for the better. Or tiny seeds of hope.
I hope this doesn't screw up the kilobytes, but I'm gonna open up Google, and we're gonna look at it on Firefox, and I'm gonna look at Google on Firefox. So Small Gods by Terry Pratchett was written in 1992. Yeah, 1992. Facebook, let's say MySpace. MySpace started in 2003. So we're 10 years before social media. Small Gods by Terry Pratchett is like a beautiful Well, it's like one of his best. It's one of his best. Pyramids. We're gonna have to do a Terry Pratchett tier list maker one of these days. Small Gods is one of his best though. It's absolutely one of his best. That's a nice picture that's got a good vibe to it. So what happens is that there's these monks and they live in the desert lands really, and they till the desert soils, growing melons, and they live in the Citadel, which is like a big city within the walls in the desert, and they worship the god Om. It's a religious book. It's set in a religious, a strictly religious community. They worship the god Om. There are some allegories to ancient religions of the past, to current religions of today, but they're not specifics. So there's a little bit of Buddhism in there, there's a little bit of Islam in there, there's a little bit of Christianity in there maybe. You know, it's allegorical to... With the Discworld, the place that this is set, is not our world. It's a world that is carried on the back of a giant turtle that swims through the cosmos. So, you know, it's a fantasy fiction. It's like Game of Thrones or some shit like that. But it's actually about real world events that happen in our world, allegorically written through in Terry Pratchett's world. Really good books. I really enjoyed them when I was growing up. They really helped me to learn a load of stuff, to be honest. So what happens in this book is that this guy, Brother, whose name is Brother, his name is Brother, that's his first name, but because he becomes one of these monks, they call him Brother, because they call like me Brother Scott, or you Brother Snippies, or Sister Snippies. You know what I'm saying? So he's called Brother, it's a joke. And he finds this turtle, and the turtle can talk to him, and that's because the turtle is the great god Om. Much like Venti is the great god of the wind, the great god Om has come back to Earth to lay out some scriptures, to find a prophet and have the prophet set out his scriptures. You know, these things go on in these ancient religions, don't they? God said to Moses, and you know, this is one of those things. But because he hasn't got enough believers, the great god Om didn't realise that he wasn't going to come down as a great big bull or a flaming dragon, but instead he came down as a little turtle because he hadn't got enough believers. And the basic concept of the god story, the small god story, is that small gods start off in the desert with no believers, just little wisps. And, you know, one man went out to the desert and came back with scriptures and prophecy, having heard the word of God, you know, a whisper in the ear. And people believed that and believed him and started following the god. And the god got stronger and wasn't just a whisper in his ear anymore. It had followers and believers, and that gave him power. Him, her, they, the divine God gave them power. And there are different gods, and the more believers they have, the more powerful they are. And Om used to be really powerful because everyone really believed. And Om can't understand that with this citadel, with this society, with everyone being strictly religious, why he's so feeble and weak. And it's because no one really believes, do they? No one really believes in God. And through the process of the story, we learn a lot about religion, belief, dogma. We visit another land, they have a war, and God is literally involved in these things as a on-the-ground character, but not as an omnipotent being, as an observer through the eyes of this turtle, protected by his only true believer and future prophet, Brother, who is naive and simple-minded and not considered to be worth anyone's time. It's a really beautiful story. It has a really interesting and creative ending, and it's a really wonderful story. It's making me feel emotional now, like just talking about it. So it's interesting, isn't it? Before the age of social media, because now with social media, you could say that's allegorical for social media rather than religion. The stronger you become stronger, the more followers you have. You know, you're a little turtle, I'm a little tortoise. But if you give me 1 million followers and pump that energy into it, then suddenly I might become a great big, you know, snorting bull. I don't know. Do you know what I mean, though? But that's the concept. The more followers, the more power. And that concept has ridden through into modern, like 20, 30 years later, after the writing of the book. What is it, 1992, I said? So 10 years is 2000 plus 28. Right, 30 years later. And it has so much interesting comment on current context that Pratchett didn't really realise he was writing about, because in a way those allegories for religion can be allegories for social media, which is kind of weird actually now I say that, isn't it? You know, the more people that believe in something, the more people that follow it, the more powerful the religion is. That's a simple concept, we can all understand that. Pratchett made it visual and physical with these characters, but the more people that follow the religion, the more powerful it is, yeah. But also the more people that follow the social media or the game or the football team or anything really, yeah. Actually anything, isn't it? The more people that are into it and follow it, the more power it has. Venti, God, sat on his own statue's hands. That statue does look a bit like him now I'm seeing it. But I always assumed this statue to be a girl. But then he is quite androgynous.
A tiny elemental being? Without a human form? Venti, do you mean you used to look different than you do now?
Yep. My current form is not so different from the situation with fake Stanley. I took the form of a friend.
It's really important as well. I know that I don't speak to a million people when I say this, but I know that I'm talking to people, you know, anyway, and it's going to be recorded, and you know, maybe people will see this some other time, but whoever gets to hear it is, you know, maybe they need to hear it. Not need to, I'm not saying you need to hear this. I'm saying that sometimes messages fall on the right ears at the right times. I don't know. This might be one of those moments, but it's important to note that from what I just said, your part in that interaction is that you can give power to the people that you follow or the things that you spend your time looking at and interacting with, like the game, like my stream, me, give power to me. But like, what I'm saying is, like, that's how politicians work. That's how politics works. That's how our world works, isn't it? That's what we were just talking about. So your place in that is actually very powerful. Although you're just an individual, it makes a big difference whether you do or don't do something, or watch something, or, you know, anything makes a big difference. That's why veganism is important in my opinion, because individually I can actually make my own. For me, in my world, it's everything. For an animal that doesn't get killed so that I don't eat it, that's everything. But as a big picture, I'm only a tiny little drop in the ocean. Yeah, okay, I'm only a little snowflake, I'm only a little drop of rain, but you put us all together and now you've got a storm. Now you've got, like, you know, you put every pixel in and it creates this masterwork. But individually, I'm just a pixel going red and blue and green or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Your part in that should not be underestimated. And even more importantly than that, if I take one of these pixels out, I can't do it because I'm not going to break my monitor or the computer. But if I took one out and we had one dead pixel, then you'd notice that, wouldn't you? You'd be like, that's not right there. What's going on with that? That one pixel's not right. You know, you matter. We need you. You matter. We need you. It's important. And it's only little things like where you spend your money on your dinner, or, you know, the sort of messages you choose to listen to and share, or the books you read, the time you spend. It's your life. We need you. It's important.
In old Mondstadt transpired the story to be told. Where a tyrant ruled, I met a boy not that old. The lyre he played, and for a song he sought. But storm walls blocked blue sky, he was sincerely distraught. I do so wish to see the birds in flight, said he, his strong eyes filling with light. But his voice was lost in the howling wind's churn, for the whirlwind takes and gives not in return. The true sky and songs that cageless soar, were they not wishes worth fighting for? So the boy turned, extending his hand. Let us cast down the tyrant and his walls from this land. The young boy raised then the flag of revolt, and I threw myself into freedom's tumult. Victorious were we who fought to be free. Gods fell, winds whipped, nations shook violently. In the smoke, a despot met his doom.
Is that broken lyre?
We watched as his great tower fell none too soon. Mondstadt began anew, the story passed down, and since then never has another worn its crown.
So then what?
That was one of your best stories. That was one of your best songs. That was one of your best songs. It's reminding me of a moment in Breath of the Wild where I realised that, and we haven't talked about this on stream yet, but I realised that Breath of the Wild, because this is a bit different, this is made by Chinese developers, but Breath of the Wild was made by Nintendo, and they're Japanese, and in the war, like, you think about the war, remember the war? No, you don't think about it that much, because all the old people that keep going on about it, they're dying off now. My nan, she's dead now. I'll pick up the mantle, I'll be the Stanley, I'll talk about it. During the 1940s, when Hitler invaded Europe, and... I'm going to get emotional, but like, you know, literally my grandparents, my granddad had to go and risk his life. We fought this war for freedom and for liberties, and we won. We're the West, we're the free nations of the world, we won. You know, that's our story, isn't it? That's our recent history. The Jews got put in the concentration camps, we didn't like that. We were in on that, saying, fucking stop that, you bastard. And then Hitler was like, right, fuck you, I'm going to invade all the countries and you can have it. And we were like, we're not fucking having it. And then France fell, Germany moved in. We're little England, little Great Britain, smaller than France, smaller than Germany, smaller than Austro-Hungary and Germany and all of them put together that are now marauding around Europe. Now they're in the Netherlands. And they've got it all, and like they want our bit as well. They want England. They're not stopping, and we're like on the phone to America. Can you get over here? You're not supposed to be helping. We've got big friends. We are. Can you please? Can you please? And America like we'll come in. We'll come in. We will be there. We are coming. And we're like, we need you now, though. Now it's getting serious, mate. And they were like, is France gone yet? Yes, France is gone. We need you now. We'll fight them on the beaches. We will fight them on the beaches. Was the rallying cry from our head honcho, Prime Minister Winston Churchill. We will fight them on the beaches. The Germans were amassing their army in France, readying for the push across the Channel, and instead, I've got to not get emotional. I've got to not cry. It's not crying. Like, don't worry, you had to build your military first. Don't worry, you had to like get the ships together and get the planes together and get the men with the guns. Yeah, don't worry. But like, hurry up. If you could hurry up though, because Hitler's over there. Like it was all a world thing. Like, you know, it was all. Don't worry, I wasn't really talking to you. Watch. It was all a big thing. I know there was lots of politics, moving parts. Bottom line, right? Bottom line. I'm not to cry. I'm not to get too emotional about it. But bottom line, instead of Hitler getting his men together and coming over here, our little island got our people, men and women, together and went over there. And they didn't all come home. I'm laughing about it. They didn't all come home. We flew over in planes and dropped them out of the sky. We went over in little boats and took the injured home. Little boats, people who didn't, like, you know, old men and people who weren't involved in directly shooting the guns, were involved in driving any, I'm not getting involved, getting upset, but they're involved in driving any small craft, any little boat you got. If you got a little boat, can you help? And we went over there. We had the help of the Americans as well. We went over there and we fucking put a stop to all that. He said, thank you very much, but no thank you. You fucking Rhineland. You can stick your fucking swastikas up your arse. We're not having any more of that. And then we pushed them back and we, you know, fought them, and then they fell. And then you can have France back, and you can have the Netherlands back, and you can have Belgium back, and you can all be free. And you can all join our big, we can join into a big club and become the European Union. We don't want to be in that anymore, apparently, but anyway, you can all be free. Italy, you as well. I know what, some of them were fascists. Mussolini, no, look, the majority weren't. Fascists are gone now. You can be free. Enjoy yourselves. Have a good time. So we've got, I know I'm going over and above board telling this story that you obviously know, and it's on the telly and you can see the films and all that, but that's our history, that's our narrative that we you know, that we told our children because their grandparents were in it. So what I wanted to reflect on was that when I played, and I'm not playing Breath of the Wild now, but it made me think of this, is in Breath of the Wild, I noticed a lot that there were themes that kept coming through, and I was seeing them more clearly in Breath of the Wild than I had done in previous Zelda games. Maybe because of my age, or maybe because of the the more intricate detail that they were able to show through the more sophisticated medium. But there's a lot of themes about destruction in Breath of the Wild. There's a lot of this great evil, this destructive evil. And when you reflect on a different story, I don't know all of Japanese history. I'm not, we're doing through Chinese and Japanese history on this one, aren't we? There's a bit like, you wait for Pearl Harbor to join, apparently. Look, you see, this is where we're going with this, right? This is where we're going with this, is that there's a difference in the history and the narratives that we tell ourselves. In this game, much like much like Game of Thrones has a little bit of English history and a little bit of Asian history and a little bit of influence from these places and ideas woven into the stories of Game of Thrones. Like literally the War of the Roses, the Lannisters, the Lancasters, like they're literally just woven in, stolen from our history and put into a book. Anyway, look, they're woven in. Same here in this game, Japanese, Chinese culture, the landscapes. But you think about these underlying stories that we tell ourselves, these underlying narratives that influence who we are as people. Like in the West, I'm just going to say it straight, we are heroes. Like you live up to, I don't know if kids these days do. I don't know if kids, your kids these days, I'm an old man and only kids. But do you know what I'm saying? I don't know if kids these days do. Because I had to live up to when we're talking about Stanley and the invisible Stanley, and losing Stanley, I had to live up to the invisible hero of the generation just gone. That, like, we all do in the West. Like, you pay your respects to them. Once a year we have Remembrance Sunday, and you take your poppies, and you lay your wreaths, and I was in the Scouts. And like, I'm not a soldier, but the reason I don't have to be is because of their sacrifice. So, I absolutely respect it. These days, I don't want to spend money on dropping bombs on Afghanistan, thanks. I don't want to spend money on dropping bombs on schools in Afghanistan. Don't take my money and buy rockets with it, please. Let's not have any more wars. But I respect what was done in the past, and I'm not going to have a debate about whether we need a defence force and in what capacity and anything now. I'm not going to have a debate on whether soldiers now should or should not be employed. I respect what they're doing, regardless of whether I respect the politicians' decisions on where to send them, if that makes sense these days. But I certainly respect what happened in the history. So I've got that narrative. I can be a hero. I can live up to that invisible honour. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it rides in. It is like, it's like it's like the stripes on the American flag. It's as real as the stripes on the American flag in America. Looking up at your chat now, you had Grandma building planes, everyone rationed food and goods for the war effort. Like, I agree. Like, America, absolutely. Without America, we didn't win the war. So, like, whilst we were panicking probably more in Europe than you were in America, because it's a different place, it's over the sea and all that. Eventually things did all come good, so we're not going to argue about whether America were involved or not. Yes, they were, and they did help and all that, absolutely. And like when France fell, we didn't immediately go to France. We were waiting in England to see how things were panning out and worrying as well. Like everyone, a bit like with Ukraine, everyone holding back until the last minute in a way. But by the by, I don't know the ins and outs of the politics of the 1940s, and I'm not going to judge anyone on that here today. What I'm saying is, in the West, we live that hero's narrative, and it's as real as the stripes on the American flag, because now you think about your service that you do in your day-to-day job, you think about honour, you think about pledging allegiance to the flag of America, to freedom, to live free or die. Literally back then, our grandparents went and died so we could live free. So that is our story, yeah? In China, in Japan, like, talking about Pearl Harbor, like, what's their story? What's their internal sense of history, place, modern world, timing? What do their grandparents tell them? What did you do in the war? Well, we attacked Pearl Harbor, and then we got the shit kicked out of us. They dropped a fucking nuke on Nagasaki. Firebombed Tokyo. The firebombing of Tokyo was worse than the nukes. more damage, more death, more destruction, all that napalm. You know, and what's your story in China? Well, my story in China is what they fucking told me to think, isn't it? Because of the Communist Chinese Party, and I better not say anything else, otherwise I'm going to get murdered. So, like, I don't know what it feels like, and I can't know what it feels like to have those, like, it's like a cultural, like, in the way Stanley was a ghost, and in the way Stanley was an imaginary friend. Like, you know, I don't visualize my cultural identity in that way, but in a way it is. Do you know what I mean? In a way, it's you could draw a picture of it as a person, like the cultural identity of your nation. What goes into that, the history, the conflicts. In America, it's a bit different as well, because you've got all this slavery and you've got all this, like, Native Americans. You can go back and talk about that. But in more modern times, we don't, because we all got together and went and fought the fucking Nazis. So when you're talking about these games, when you're talking about war, Mondstadt, the old city, when you're talking about the anger, the barriers, the new generations, the confusions, like Breath of the Wild, you had this destructive force, this evil, and you had to cleanse the land of it. And I think, what is there, you know, where do they were, like, is it hard to believe that how do you feel if your grandfather was the evil? Like, how do you feel if your ancestors were on the wrong side in the war? Like, I don't know. Maybe it comes through in these games. Maybe it comes through. Maybe there's more allegories that I'm not able to perceive. Like, maybe his story there means something different to someone in China or Japan. I don't know, but it's really interesting to think about.
What happened to your friend?
I think.
Say, Paimon, do you wish to hear the next part of the story?
Yes, of course. The suspense is killing, Paimon.
Paimon, go and pick us a couple of apples.
Now's the time you suddenly get a craving for apples? Really?
Getting a little peckish or something.
Paimon's had it up to here with you.
I don't know why we sent Paimon off for apples.
You know, you're so smart it almost makes me uncomfortable sometimes. But then, maybe it's right that true friends can tell what the other is thinking.
Apparently we needed some alone time. I don't know. I think my country was on both sides, depending on the year. But we also had another war 30 years ago, so we talk more about that one. Sorry, remind me, Juzzy, if I haven't already asked what your country is, if it's not impolite to ask. And again, remember that I don't, whilst we all do, like I've just explained, take on those feelings of the past in our national identities, I also believe that we are people of the world. Yugoslavia, right? Yeah, I know about the falling apart of Yugoslavia. I know about that. Yeah, Croatia now. Wow, cool. I know I've watched documentaries. I've seen interesting and harrowing, you know, accounts of what's gone on there. I know a bit. I don't know as much as you probably do, but I know a bit. Yeah, I'm not uneducated about that. What was I going to say? Yeah, I do also think that we are people of the world, though, and that our generations, the future generations, because we're so connected by the internet and because we see things in a different way, you know, it doesn't matter where you live, like, you know. Like we can talk on equal terms in terms of Game of Thrones or something like that, and it's you know, it's quite liberating to know that the people, like in the past, they couldn't see into these other places. The people of Germany were an alien species that you couldn't see unless you went there, or do you know what I mean? Now we can, like, literally, I can get us on into Germany on the webcam. I can speak to some German people right now on the phone. You know what I mean? We can, like, the world is much closer and smaller, and we can realise that, especially with things like communities online, like gaming or Twitch, like we're a Twitch community. Like, Twitch is like its own country. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's different kinds of borders drawn, and I think we can, in our imaginations, in our minds, we don't have to be beholden to those same national identities and the borders that were drawn, and especially because they're the things that supply the power to the politicians. Remember I was saying about small gods earlier, and about how many followers and adherents to a belief give it power? Well, the only reason that border, you know this so well in Yugoslavia, and former Yugoslavia, Croatia, you know this so well. The only reason that line is a border is because we say it is, and we all agree it is. And if we don't all agree it is, then we can move that border and change it. And maybe we don't want to change it. Maybe we have to fight about it. And now there's a new line, and now it's over here. And now we're a country and you're a country, and we're separate. But really, like, it's only just the foolish arrogance of the humans that struggle for power that causes those lines drawn, those fights and struggles. And if we abandon that as a group, if we said, I don't care where you want to draw the line, and I don't, you know, I don't need to be Croatian or Serbian or you know, I don't need to have a name like that, and you know, or I'm trying to think of the other countries in that area: Serbia and Montenegro, Croatia, Bosnia, Herzegovina, you know, all these different names. But before it was Yugoslavia, you were like, now you can go one step out, because now we can see the world. Now we can see the world. You know, now you can be European. Now you can go one more step out, like, because we do, haven't we, got that European club? You can be European. Now you can go one more step out, because now we can see the universe, and we know about it these days. We know about it. We know how many planets are out there. Fucking millions and billions. We don't know exactly how many, but there's loads. Like, we can see it now, and so we can say, hang on, we thought we were British and Yugoslavian and Croatian and American. We thought that because we were looking at it, we're little ants, and we're right down on the surface. But when you span out and pan out, we're all just human beings, aren't we? We're all just, like, there's no lines. There's no borders, as they said there was, but really there's not. And in 100 million years there might not be. And, you know, it's not permanent. It changes. So we can change in the long run. In our minds, at least, we're online. We're people that use Twitch. We're people that connect. We're humans. We don't need those borders anymore. They're useful for trade. They're useful for politics. They're useful for laws, for arbitration. But they're not as useful for, like, moving forward together as a human force, as humanity. They're actually not as useful for that. They create conflicts and divides, and they're not as useful as a mind experiment, as a thought tool. They're not as useful. The nationalism, pride in nationalism, national pride, like, it can go too far, can't it? Well, it's already on a spectrum. It's already on a spectrum. Yeah, I think I've made my point there. I think I've made enough. I'm not going to go too politically into that. But obviously, you know, being a big fascist nationalist is not the way to go. And if therefore the opposite is to be more liberal in terms of opening your arms wide and saying, you know, we're all part of humanity's great tapestry. Let's all have a good crack on it together. Maybe that's a better way to think. And I also think, I'll just say one more last point about this. Football, sport, can overtake. We don't need to have a war. We can do sport instead. It can be a great vent for all of those emotions. Boxing or football or whatever, you know, pick your sport, and you can really have a good, you know, physical go at it, and you can compete. And at the end, you can all step back and say, you know what? We all enjoyed the World Cup. My team didn't win it, but I still love football. We all love football. I don't have to hate you because you're on a different team. In fact, I understand you because you're living the same feelings as I am, because we all love football. So, like, let's not fight against fans. Like, we have the Birmingham fans don't like the Aston Villa fans because we're rival teams. But when England are playing, we all like England. Like, we all like football. That's the thing. So it doesn't have to be a rivalry thing. It's that nationalism, it's that small-minded lines drawn that causes the rivalries, and we should use it for competition in a healthy way, like sporting competition, but we don't have to allow it to destroy us and drag us down. You know, only allow it, you know, it's better in the modern world, it better serves us to understand ourselves as a homogenized, maybe not homogenized, you know, all the same, but as a homogeneous group. Not that's the wrong word as well. As a you know, collective, isn't it? As a human collective, rather than individual little pockets of this and that and the other and this and that and the other. Maybe it's better to do that.
A refreshing drink, a gentle breeze. Moments like this always take me back.
But of course, impossible when we've got and people say, oh, you don't want one world government, do you? You're not one of these they go on about their conspiracy theories and one world governments. But as long as we've got different governments pulling in different directions in the superpowers of the earth, like, as long as we've got China, America and Russia, you know, pulling in different directions and with different systems, we're not quite all on the same page. We're missing a trick. And I obviously don't think America is the one that needs to change the most, but obviously some things need to change in America. Not going to say anything about Roe versus Wade, obviously. But, you know, some things still need to change everywhere, don't they? And we need to move forward into a position where we can see what we can get on with together. Like, in the near future, they're going to fire rockets into space to go to the moon again. And they're going to fire them off from America. And they're also going to fire them off for China. Because, I think Russia are going to have a crack as well. Because they've agreed... We've got an agreement, like, you know how the Geneva Convention and all this, we've got an agreement that stuff in space is going to be shared. You can't bagsy stuff in space. Sign up to the agreement, please. Stop the destruction of space with the greed of individual nations by saying, look, you can't say that's America's moon. You can't say it's China's moon. You're not going to go mining the moon. You know, we've got an agreement. But China and America have refused to sign it. Because they're in a race to get there and do what they fucking want. And whoever gets there first, it's their moon. Like, this is the problem, isn't it? Instead of that, we could have one set of scientists trying to get one team to the moon and we could all benefit. And instead of competing, like, we're sending two... It's like sending two taxis. I don't need two taxis. There's only one of me. It's like having a race in two taxis. You get in that taxi, I'll get in this taxi, and we'll both go there. Well, no, we're just both getting the same taxi. We're both going there. Waste and all this, you know, in all the worlds of consumption and destruction. We're sending two sets of rockets to the moon in competition. Anyway, I'd love to tell people from other places not to worry about what's going on in America, but fascists holding power in a country with so much military and economic power is frightening, yeah. And this is the funny thing as well. The main problem is the language barrier. Good point. Everyone having English as their first language. Yeah, or whatever's easiest, you know, whatever comes out. You know, I'm not going to force anyone to speak any particular way, but I've learned other languages so that I can communicate when I'm in other places. So, yeah, whatever's easiest for people. Whatever... Hopefully, in the long run, we will have a way of all being on the same understanding, won't we? And I suppose language is a big part of that as well, so that's a really interesting point. And yeah, what I was going to say about that America thing is that in the West, Europe, America, we look at ourselves as, you know, we're the right one. We're doing it right. Those crazy people in Afghanistan with their loopy religious rule and, you know, China don't even know what the fuck's going on. We're doing it right. But over there, they've got a different paradigm of what's normal. So they look at our cultures and see things that we just maybe forget or don't highlight or do highlight. And just for some reason, like shootings, like crime, like, you know, name a thing that's bad in our society, drugs or what have you. Maybe they look at our society and go, well, fucking hell. Like, they haven't got it right. They don't know what's going on. It's a free-for-all out there. Like, why don't they get some control over themselves? Like... And they're looking at that from a prism of I'm not allowed to go out or wear a fucking hat because I'm wearing a burqa because I'm a woman. And they're looking at us and saying we're the ones that are loopy. Do you know what I mean? So it's hard, isn't it? It's hard. We're not going to fix that overnight, but really interesting though. Really interesting. Yeah, you're not biased because English is not your first language, so it's probably easier for you to say that, yeah, than me to say everyone should speak English. But it does seem that a lot of people... The irony is though, there are more Chinese speakers than any other nation. Any other language put together, you know, more Chinese speakers because there are more people in China. But globally, it's more prevalent that English is the more spread out and understood language. I think that's because of TV and films, personally. I think it's because people wanted to watch the films and the TV and they picked up English from it. And okay, you get dubs and but you don't always get the dubs and whatever. People, I think it became the language of trade as well with the British Empire, but I think films and TV have a big part to play in that media. In the same way that some people will learn Japanese so they can watch an anime in its native tongue. If you're that committed, you know. Oh, I was going to wipe something off my screen, but it's just a little tree in the distance. This is a good chat. My English is very good. The amount of native English speakers that can't speak. That's kind of true. It's kind of true. There is I'll tell you what. I have to be careful because I used to be a bit of a language pedant. I used to think that you should follow all the rules of the language, and if you're not getting it right, someone should correct you. You know, I won't even bother picking out a rule now, but you know, if you're not getting it right, someone should correct you. But I also understand that our language doesn't sound the same today as it did 100 years ago. And it won't sound the same today as it will in 100 years. Like, our language is fluid and evolutionary. All languages are. I wouldn't understand real old English. And a lot of words that we have, like, we kind of make up or change a bit. And then if everyone says it, that's what it said. That's what everyone's saying. That's how it is. So I'm angry sometimes. Oh, you've said that wrong, or people keep saying this wrong. But in reality, after I'm dead in 100 years, people that are saying it wrong will become right, and that's how everyone will say it, and that's what it will be. So I like, you know, I was brought up to try to speak the language as correctly as possible. I was taught it at school, and, you know, they were bullying that idea into me. But as I get older and more mellow, I enjoy more hearing the changes in the language sometimes. And I say, well, I don't speak like that, but it's interesting to hear it. I wonder what will be the language of tomorrow. You know, I wonder what will be prevalent tomorrow. And things like poggers, things like internet speak, you know, things like that. LOL, you know, didn't exist 20 years ago. Just didn't exist. Now people say it out loud instead of laughing. LOL. So you don't know where it's going to go, and no one can draw a line around it. So you can't say LOL. LOL's an abbreviation for laugh out loud, and therefore you should laugh. Well, they just said LOL. You can't stop them. They said it. They said it. It's wrong. You shouldn't say it. It's not proper grammar. Fucking, it's been said now. Everyone's saying it. You can't stop them. I didn't go to a private school. My school was not. We didn't have to pay money. It was just you had to take exams to get in. It wasn't a private school. It was, I don't know if private and public are funny words, because sometimes in England public schools are considered private because you have to pay for them. I went to a school that was free on the government. That's what I went to. Should we get back to Genshin Impact?
Back to a song that I first heard from him.
I don't know what, they're having a moment, I think. Oh, it's another song. Banging.
Fly, fly away. Like a bird in the sky. See the world on my behalf.
This isn't as good as the last one.
To the heavens may you fly.
In fact, that was awful. It was like nothing happened. It was just darkness, Venti. Are you alright? Loads of books, though. That was worth it. That was well worth it. So we could push him off. Oh! Ah! Fell off. What's going on with you now? Look, this nun, she's got a problem. What are you up to? Praying to the Lord, but he's up there. He's literally up there. You're in the right place to pray to him, I tell you. He's literally up there. If you hang around, he'll come down in a minute. We've also got him to thank for the safety of the Knights of Favonius. Thank you, Lord Barbatos. Thank you, Lord Barbatos, I say as well. I dare not fathom the things he's done for others, but just knowing such a diligent deity watches over, literally watching over Mondstadt right now, you chuffer, he's up there. It sets her heart at ease. Smart Guy 007, first time chatter, read the words at the bottom of the statue. I certainly will, I certainly will. Give me a second to finish talking to this fruity nun, but it's nice to have you here, Smart Guy 007. I certainly will try and... Where are they? I'll have a look. I'll have a look. I didn't know there were any words. I'd like to help me collect one batch of dandelion seeds and scatter them to the wind. Why is this done? Dandelion seeds, go with the wind, carry the feelings. The Lord's the arch on. Okay then. Thank you. That's a simple quest.
Let the wind may the god of animals protect you.
Give the dandelion seeds to Grace. I've got them right here. That's enough. Please wait here. She's doing a prayer. She doesn't know if the tone deaf bard's listening, but he's up there, look. So help me go and scatter them. No, I don't want to get her to do it. She's not doing anything. Anna. 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 I've got some Anna. You're not busy, are you? Anna. You're not busy. Anna, stop walking away while I'm talking to you. Thank you, fairy. Thank you, nothing. Have these dandelion seeds, and Grace needs these dandelion seeds scattering, alright? She's... Where are you going? She's rude. Right, look. Where's the words? These words? These words, like down here, yeah? That's the. That one there is the, but it's backwards.
Blessing from Barbados.
Do I need a mirror? Young. I want to say young, high. Or is this code? It's repeating. It's 3 words and it's repeating. It's this, this, this. That's a different word. 4 words. There's that young word again. It's like young, the, something of, young, the, something of. Like it's the same word over and over again. Repeating. Same thing over and over repeating. And that's got to be the. And so if that's the, then they've got another T there. So tog, it wants to say it. I mean, that's definitely a T. Is it? Or it could not be and. It could be and, couldn't it? Go. Am I looking at this upside down? The gateway. I'm reading it upside down. The gateway of Celestia. I nearly got there. Celestia. Hang on, where's Celestia? The gateway of Celestia. I don't know if it says that. I don't know if it says that. I don't know if it says Celestia. you seem to think it does. You seem to know. But if we take that as the, that's got to be gateway, right? So gate I can have G-A-T-E. Gate W-A-Y though. No, but they're not right, are they? I'm right upside down still. They there's the wrong number of letters. The gateway to Yonetog. I think Yonetog. Probably more like Yonetog. He's up there. Look, Jose, you're playing a little harp. You never guess who's up there. No one's going to have it from me. No one wants to know. What about you? Sayed, you're a travelling scholar. Can you see him up there? I'll take a photo, look, with you.
I really envy those with the God's Eye.
The God's Eye. He's up there, you chuffer. That's ironic, isn't it? The God's Eye. The floating island is just a fake empty island.
The folk songs here protect you. From Barbados.
What, this island? But this is an island as well. So there. Oh.
Make my escape.
This is an island as well, isn't it? Look, because it's surrounded by water. Pooey water, probably, that they wash their pooey brushes in. Don't know why they've got pooey brushes. Cleaning all the poo off. Look, and it's got waves here as well. Built into the stone, look. Like, sort of. They look like waves. Could it be cryptic? Are you saying there's cryptic puzzles in here? Are they Venti's feet? Is that Venti's foot? Trod on Venti's foot now. Ow! Can you feel that up there, do you think? Ow! Ow, stop climbing on my foot. Ow. She's digging her feet in. She's having a good go on his foot there. Ow. He's up there in his own hands.
The folk songs here are all...
That looks more like a woman though, that statue. It's more feminine in its poise. You don't know these days though. Right. He, she, they, it.
Make my escape.
Very thin waist. He needs a bit more dinner. Maybe that's just the sculptor's license. Wings. I got wings. Whee! There he is up there behind us. He's still there though. He's still there. Check out Kaya's vision holder. I don't rock Kaya. Kaya's not in my group. The real Celestia's inside the ley line. Do you know, anything's possible until it's confirmed, says Jesse. Do you know what? that might sound right to you, but also to me, because I can't remember where Celestia or what Celestia is or what a ley line is. I don't know. I do know there's somewhere floating up in the sky there as well, which I haven't been to, I don't think. I don't really know what Celestia is. Isn't it where the gods live? That's a bit of a Pratchettian concept as well. The gods lived at Cori Celesti in Pratchett's Discworld books. This is where the Fatui live. This is their gaff. So I'm going to just get up on their roof and just... Just gonna... Someone's going to do a poop down their chimney. Go on, do a little poop down their chimney. Go on. Do a little poop down their chimney. We won't watch you. We won't watch you. We'll look away. We'll look away while you do a little poop down their chimney. Do a little poop down their chimney. And then you'll drop in their fire and they'll have to smell it in their fire. Be hot on their chimney, I'll tell you what. Watch those buns. Here we are. There's another chest. I can't believe I haven't got this one. So it does make me wonder whether these get...
Ooh, what's in here?
Do those chests
get
respawning? Because haven't I done every rooftop around here? Is there a rooftop I missed? There's some bird eggs. They can leave them. They'll need them for making more birds out of. Oh look, chat's paused. I've paused it myself like an idiot. Hang on. Yep, Philomeno mushrooms. Fill me in on those Philomeno mushrooms. Celestia refers to 5 pillars as heavenly principle: life, death, time, space. They don't respawn. I'm just blind. Maybe that. Maybe. But in my world, you see, I without the internet, I would have thought they respawn. So, I don't know if that would have been better or worse. I'd have been waiting for some chests that would never respawn, but also I would live in hope. So, there's that. And, smart guy, it's nice to have additional information. Just careful how you meter it out to me, because no spoilers. I'm nearly finished. Get off, I don't want a photo of that. I'm nearly at Inazuma, and I'm enjoying exploring and uncovering the secrets of the game. So if you're telling me things that are like clever ideas that you might be thinking, that's cool. But if you're telling me things that, like, in a quest they're going to tell me all about and then I'd have already heard it off you, not so cool. But I'm assuming they're just cool ideas you're thinking, so that's cool. No, I've had the chest off here. That's gone. That's gone, I've had that. It's not coming back. It's not coming back, is it? Why aren't my chests coming back? The eggs are coming back. They keep laying the eggs. I'm not having them. Don't want the eggs. I'll just come out here just because people keep like... I know it's a bit skanky, but people keep leaving food in these boxes and it will only go to waste. So I come out here and I have a carrot. That's mine. And I know it's a bit skanky. It's an old carrot out of a box. And a radish. That's mine. And I left these apples. No, honestly, I did. I left them just on there. I thought if there's any sailors, they might want an apple when they come in. But there wasn't any sailors, so I just left them there for them. Honestly, they're mine. Well, no one else wants them, do they? No one else wants them. I don't see anyone else arguing. You can have one if you want. We can have both if you want. Well, you shouldn't. They're mine. Just pop that. Just pop that. Thank you. It's mine. This is what happens in my brain as well. I don't have to do the story quests or anything. I can just play this game like this. Make my escape. Just running around, collecting one of everything, individually, one at a time. Running around like that, collecting things. I'm not going to talk to you, you fisherman, or you fishy fishing. Leave them alone. What have the fish ever done to you? I'm just running around collecting things, happy doing this. No one needs to bother me. No idea I'll ever find out by playing just a story. Well, there you go. That's fine. That's fine. We can talk deep lore if you want. That's fine. But don't expect me to remember it tomorrow. Don't expect me to remember it. It's not that easy to remember things these days. I've already remembered who Aquaman. His name's now I want to say Jared Leto. Today I learned about Aquaman. Jason Momoa. I learned Jason Momoa was Khal Drogo as well. So that's my learning for the day. Unfortunately, the Genshin lore is not going to fit in my head as well. There's only enough space for that. You're right there, Sage. Little Sage. And his friends Rosemary and Parsley. And he's got another friend, Onion. He's got a sister called Onion. Get off touching me, swan. Pedo. Hello, Stanley. You look positively suicidal. Stanley's... We know he's been having a bad time now. We know why. So... we'll just leave him to it, frankly. He's probably drunk. You're shocked how good my recall is. Well, it's only a little bit of information, isn't it? See, that's how I passed those exams. That's how I convinced the world I was smart. When you're younger, you listen to this, you young'uns. You don't have as much information to remember for each exam. The older you get, the more stuff you actually have to know and learn about and research. But in the early days, it was like, oh, okay, GCSEs, go for it. Tell me some stuff, I'll tell it you back. Thank you very much for my exam. These days it's different, I suppose. You have to do projects and all sorts. One was like, well, how many marks is this worth for your GCSEs?
Like I
was like, well, I don't really know. And she was like, when does it have to be in? And I was like, well, maybe tomorrow. It's like, oh my god, get the computer out. Ah! I convinced my mum that we needed a PC so that I could do my projects for my GCSEs, and instead I played games on it. I'll show you this one as well. We're going to be signing off in a minute, but I've just got one more bit of beautiful nostalgia for you. It won't be nostalgia for everyone, and certainly, Juzzy, you're not going to even believe this. You're not going to believe this, but I used to play on a compact. I showed you the Spectrum, didn't I? The Spectrum ZX plus 2. I'll just put 2 in, it will do it. The Spectrum ZX plus 2. This is my first gaming system. Before I had an Atari, I guess, but it's hard to remember because I was a little young. But this thing had a tape deck or a disc drive, depending on how lucky you were. I got the plus 3, so I had the disc drive. Look at that. You rig it up to your telly. You rig it up to your telly. I said you rig it up to your telly. Like that when I was a lad, you had to rig Spectrum up to telly. I had keyboard on it and all sorts. Wasn't particularly good compared to today's games, I will tell you. I'm not going to show you, I'm not going to force you to look at the games. But one of these days, I'll show you. And the first PC that we owned in our house was a compact. My mum had a laptop for her work. Compact Presario. I can't remember the numbers. But my mum had a laptop for her work that I had a look at. And then we got this compact Presario home computer. This is it. This is the one. Open image. It was exactly this. Oh, it's only a tiny image. Why are you so tiny, image? Why are you so tiny? It was all built in. Oh, you're tiny as well. Back then, the internet only did tiny images. These days, you need a bigger image. Why are they so small? It was all built in anyway. You had the screen, the disk drive, the on-off button, the CD drive. CD drive, bear in mind. As well as a disk drive. Why are they so small? Why are the images so small? It doesn't make sense. You couldn't do anything on a computer that small. You wouldn't even be able to type anything on the keyboard. It's so small. You'd have to have little mouse fingers. Type on a keyboard that small. You'd have to have little fingers like a mouse. Look at that. Do you remember when a computer was that? That was a laptop. Do you know what? That was a laptop. And you know that's a laptop because you could fold it up and carry it around. That was a portable computer. That was the way you would portable computer. And they did this. This is it. That's a bigger picture of it. So it came with everything in the box. And you got it out and you turned it on. It had this big button on the front, the power button. And it had a keyboard, a mouse. And it had a disk drive and a CD drive. And that could basically just about run Doom. I had Transport Tycoon, I think, with trains on it. I had Sim City and I had Doom. Like my box that I've got over there, it shits on this compact Presario. And that's what we were on, trying to hook that up to the internet. So that's a little bit of nostalgia for you. You wouldn't believe it these days. You're lucky. You're so lucky these days. Your phone is better than the computer games that I grew up playing. And in the future, that's why mobile gaming is so important to the gaming market. Not just the fact that it already makes a lot of money, but the developers of people like, or I say still is, but will be in a different way, or was. I know developers of mobile games that have now gone into virtual reality because they're looking for the next step. And they were mobile developers 20 years ago looking at the next step. That's why they're big. You know, they were on it at the start. My point is, though, that your phone now is pretty powerful. Like, it can do what a PlayStation 1 could do. Well, you know, imagine in 10 years and 20 years how powerful your phone's going to be. Like, this is a mobile game, remember. I'm playing this on my PC. The calculator's probably better, yeah. The future of gaming is going to be mobile, but not in the way people think, like, oh, mobile games and pay to win, and, you know, I don't want to play a game on my phone, it's silly. Because in the future, we won't all have big, powerful computers in our homes. That'll be for specialists. But most of us will definitely have a powerful phone that's basically as powerful as my i9 is now. Do you know what I mean? In the future, our devices, I don't know how it will totally work. I don't know what the, you know, spec will be. I don't know if there's a limit. But in the future, I'm pretty sure that your basic device, your phone, won't just be your phone, will it? It'll be a multi-tool device that does all sorts of things. And it'll be a lot more normal for us to sort of plug in a monitor to that, or project it onto a telly or a wall or whatever, and just start using my mobile because it's got all the power that my computer... Do you know what I'm saying? There'll still be people playing on PCs at high end, but give it 50 years, give it 20, 30... You know, when you're the granddad, you'll say, oh, I used to play on this big box in my house. I used to have a big box. Nowadays, you just have your phone, and my phone wasn't... Your phone now is as powerful as my big box was. So anyway, that's depressing. No, it's not. It's cool. It'll be a chip in your brain. There you go. Yeah, you won't have to... Yeah, if Elon Musk has got anything to say about it, it'll be a chip in my brain. I'll have the adverts beamed into my left eye. Not my right eye, because I'll get ad blocker in my right eye, but I won't be able to afford it for both eyes, so I'll just have it beamed into my left eye while I'm driving. I'm having an advert. Quick, take over the steering. Yeah, Elon Monkey Killer Musk. Elon Monkey... You know how many monkeys Elon Musk killed trying to sort out that Neuralink? Elon Monkey Killer Musk. Anyway, we're not making it to 50. I hate to break it to you. Yeah, live fast, die young. Got all the eyes today. The angels have got lots of eyes on them. There you go. I've already blown it for live fast, die young. Live moderately, excessively, at quite a rate, but not fast. I can't claim to die young. Anyway, didn't use it on pigs. Yeah, he's done it for pigs and monkeys. Pigs and monkeys. He's been experimenting on all sorts of animals. Elon Animal Experiments Musk. Yeah. Let's not get into that, because we're going to finish a nice stream here. I'm going to go and get some pizza and eat it, and then I'm going to come back on YouTube and watch the boxing videos and react to them, because I feel like I want to watch those boxing videos. I might as well do it on stream, but I didn't want to spoil this Genshin Impact stream with all that. We have such a lovely time here. I'm so grateful to you. Didn't use it on... I meant the world in general, not me. I was to be... Yeah, no, I'll be gone. You'll be there. You'll be fine. You'll be fine without me. Go on without me, Stanley. We have a lovely time here, though, don't we? We think about some clever things, interesting things. It's not just gameplay. It's thoughts and ideas, and I'm really grateful to you for bringing your ideas and thoughts to the table. Hopefully, because I hope for this. You know, I hope that we play games, but ongoing into the future, when I play different games and other games, I hope that you'll join us for in the future. You know, not the near future. Genshin's still got a lot to offer in the near future, but in the longer term future, you know, I hope that we can continue to look at themes and ideas and draw something out and think about things and, you know, beat the ideas about the ring a bit, and then, you know, maybe not even draw conclusions, just, you know, a bit of food for thought. bit of interesting conversation, because like we all need a bit of that in life, don't we? Otherwise you end up like poor Stanley over there, sat on his own under the tree having a cry. Stanley, come and join us. Are you drunk, Stanley? All right, we'll sleep that off and then come and join us. You be good, my little puckos, you be good. We're going to quit here. I'm going to go and get some pizza. I'm going to adjourn for the evening, and I'm back on YouTube. No, I'm not going to be on YouTube tomorrow in the daytime. I'm going to do it tonight and watch the boxing videos, because tomorrow, Mental Health Monday, 8 PM GMT, right here, and I'm going to use some of the daytime tomorrow to do some more admin-y stuff. So you be good, and if you can't be good, you're naughty.